It is time to do the one thing that no other channel in the influencer boxing space, YouTube boxing scene has done or will do. I'm talking KSI. That's right, you heard me. I'm talking even FaZe Sensei Oos channel. I'm talking the Wade concept. I'm talking Real and Wills, whoever.
Facts.
This, on the breakdown, we are about to give you the most comprehensive and up-to-date crossover boxing tier list ever made. And we're doing this because people took issue. I don't know if you saw this. I put it on Twitter today. People took issue with our picks for the top 5 in influencer boxing.
Really? I saw a little bit, but no. But really? Overall?
Maybe it's just that I focus on the people and I go back and forth. I know you don't play that game, but I do. You know what I mean? I play
I see that, yeah.
But
I enjoy watching it.
from the outside, I'm like, Twitter fingers going crazy. But people had some issues. They're like, where's that 6 to 10? Where is, the rest of the people? Well, we didn't just give you top 5, top 10. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a pool of 52 people.
We got everybody.
So lock in, grab a snack, grab a drink. And speaking of snack and drink,
oh my gosh,
a little bit of a twist to our tier list today. At some point, as you know, the big Oos himself, FaZe Sensei is here. He lost predictions for Social Gloves 2, and you see that one chip challenge of death. He has been primed. He has the Pepto-Bismol-lined stomach. He has the milk. And how we're going to do this is at a random point during this tier list, because FaZe Sensei has not seen the list, and he does not know where his own name will pop up. But when it does pop up, he will then have to take the one chip challenge and finish the rest of the list while trying to cope with the fact that his mouth and possibly esophagus is on fire. Are you ready, FaZe Sensei?
No, I'm not, but let's do it.
All right, here we go. The breakdown, YouTube, influencer, crossover boxing tier list. Let's go. So for our tiers today, we have Hang Up the Gloves. These are for fighters that we believe should not be fighting anymore. We don't see any future for them in this scene, and we want to save them from further damage, either mentally, emotionally, or the one that obviously everyone worries about, physically.
Yeah.
So we don't want any of that, and we want them to live happy influencer crossover lives, so they should hang it up. Next, we have Journeymen. These are people that, they'll continue fighting probably, but they're not going to amount to a ton of wins. They're people you need in this scene because stars, when they first start, will have to fight some of these guys. And they do give some sort of barometer as to how those stars will look moving forward. And they will get some wins against other journeymen, but they won't be people that factor into the main events or the bigger fights down the road. Next, we have prospects. These are individuals we see as just below the level of exalting them to the higher tiers. The people that we think have a real future in this, but maybe aren't quite there just yet. And we want to just see a little more of, but at the same time, they've shown an ability to be that next level up from a journeyman.
Yep.
Then we have solid fighters. These are the people that are right outside of the top of the scene. They may have lost once, maybe twice, but they have shown an ability to get back in there, work their way back, and make themselves, at, like I said, right outside the door. They are knocking on the door of contender, and once you get to that level, which is the next one, you're talking about people that are at the highest level, right? We're talking main events. We're talking people that have opportunities to have their own cards, have their own events, but aren't necessarily the best of the best of the best, because that's FaZe Sensei is saved for Let's Go Champ.
Let's Go Champ.
And there should be, we'll see how many people get into the Let's Go Champ category, but they're not going to be any. This is going to look like the standard American diet pie chart. It's not a pie chart, the standard American diet pyramid. It's going to be funneled down because as YouTube boxing goes, there's going to be more at the bottom and less at the top. But FaZe Sensei, are you ready? We start with
I'm ready.
the man in the main event of X Series number 1. They call him the cranium of steel, the bladder that doesn't matter, a.k.a. Luis Pineda. Give me your thoughts. Where are we putting Pineda, man?
Hang him up, dude. Hang them up.
Straight to hang him up, huh?
Here's the reason. I liked him. Okay, I don't like have any issues with him, but
Yeah.
it's all about performance. And if you get an opportunity like that, you have to at least try to put up a performance. And JJ didn't have a dance partner. His performance made it so uncomfortable to watch because of the complaining and the kneeling down. It became like a parody at some point. And regardless of whatever he was going through or how hard it was, or if he did get hit, I mean, it just literally looked like a parody, bro. It didn't look real.
It's the best way to put it. It looked like a parody. It looked like a guy that was in a little bit, not even a little bit, a lot over his head. That was a guy that was not ready for that moment and showed it. And I think if we're talking about the influencer boxing scene, because I'm sure Pineda is still going to be fighting, but for this influencer scene, I don't know what else he brings to anyone here. Like, I'm not sure what he does for anybody else here or himself. Like, it's not going to do him any favors to bring him back in another main event against another big name. It's not going to make any sense.
No, because
I got to agree with you.
He performs again, right? Like, what? I don't, like, okay.
Like, who's buying that? Who's wanting to watch it?
I kind of want to watch it because I want to see if he fights the same. Like, there's a parody part that seems kind of interesting because it's kind of funny because it's like a meme now. Like, besides that, though, which is not a great thing, that means you should hang it up. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You shouldn't be, we shouldn't be wanting to watch guys that are laughably bad and aren't trying to get any better. Not to say he's not, but I'm with you. Luis, my man, you got to hang it up. At least for the influencer scene, you got to hang it up.
Correct.
Now, next, we have a man we haven't seen since Social Gloves 1, but is saying he wants to fight soon. He's been in talks, not in talks, but he's been rumored to be in talks with, Happy Punch and trying to find him an opponent on your roster. It's DDG, man. What do you think about DDG?
Who did he fight the first time?
He fought Nate Wyatt.
That's right, Nate Wyatt.
Yeah. And you know what, man? If we can do some revisionist history here, let's go back. I know that fight wasn't very interesting, and DDG didn't win in a very spectacular fashion. And really, if we're honest, he disappointed a little bit compared to what I had seen, and I think what a lot of people had seen as a guy that is pretty skilled, a guy that maybe isn't the best at this, but a guy that does have some experience here, and I thought was capable of a better performance than he put on. So I still, if he's coming back to the scene, I'm excited about him, but I want to know your thoughts. Where do you think he goes on this list specifically?
I think he goes prospect. It's a perfect spot. I can't put him, obviously not a journeyman. I don't see that I can't put solid fighter because you want to have that, like, you need, like, no pun intended, a solid performance. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, and that's the thing. You need to have a foundation.
Yeah, you need like that versing another solid guy, so... Prospect.
Yes, I think prospect is great because it gives him an opportunity to still show, okay, I can be in this scene. I do have the talent. And when I say he's talking with, he's in talks with names, I'm not saying they're in contract talks, but there's rumors flying around that people want him to fight Dean the Great or a Walid Sharks or a Jarvis. And those guys are prospects in some way, some solid fighters, some a little bit more. But those guys aren't journeymen, right? Is my point.
Right.
So we have him in that same kind of respect, and I think he has a lot of opportunity to even move up further in this list. But for now, DDG is a prospect. Now we get into the controversy, FaZe Sensei. We get into the controversy that is Alex Wasabi.
Oh.
Where do we put Alex, man?
Wasabi.
I'm telling you something. It's going to surprise people what I got to say here.
I would put he only had one fight, right?
This is what you have to think about. He has one fight, but you have to think about where we put Deji. And we have to relay that with Alex, because do we put Deji above Alex after Alex, quite frankly, beat him going away in his hometown? And I know that maybe not the same Deji.
Yeah. I would
just
put
saying,
Alex
we have to weigh performance.
solid fighter. Okay. That's right.
Okay, why do you say solid fighter?
Because like he beat Deji.
Yep.
Deji hadn't won yet, you know.
Yep.
And that's all we've seen from him. You know, we haven't seen
sanctioned officially, right?
Yeah, we haven't seen anything else. So you know, I got
the only drawback you could say
he looked good though. He had a good performance.
No, he looked great.
That's the thing too. Is that
great.
matters too. So he had a good performance.
Yeah.
And Deji looked a little bit slicker. And he had the cardio to go. You know, I think a rematch would be good, but I can't put Wasabi higher. I can't
Yet.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel right making him a prospect, but he could be a prospect too.
I was gonna say prospect kind of fits too because, you know, sanction wise, he has only beaten Deji, who had not had a win to that point. And yes, we've seen the classic Fousey knocked him down. We saw Nick Ireland put him on a knee and their stuff as well. But I think we can't really use sparring stuff if we have stuff that is better and more recent. And I think Alex, honestly, I like him at solid fighter because Deji is now shown, again, this is something we're going to run into a lot with this list, that his strength of schedule now, Deji has elevated himself. And because Deji's elevated himself, Alex's win looks that much better.
Right.
And this is why a rematch would be great. You know, it would be. But if we're just taking in what we've seen in the ring between two people and Alex being in a main event outside of his home country, his first boxing match, and being able to go in and do what he did.
Yeah.
Say what you want about Alex Wasabi, but he's a solid fighter now. He went from not even being on this list last year to a solid fighter. So
let's go, Wasabi.
Alex Wasabi, solid fighter. Next, we have, this one's a heartbreaker for you, man. This one is a heartbreaker. Adrian, all day, AD Peterson is on the list after a brutal knockout loss to Le'Veon Bell in his first fight ever. Where do you rank AD?
Okay. All right, this is interesting because I'm trying to compare him. This is in the influencer space only. You know, now what was the weight to?
They were heavies.
Yeah,
so
they're
above
heavies.
200 and above 200. I think he weighed a lot more than Le'Veon. I think he weighed like 218. I think Le'Veon was like 206.
Damn it, man.
It's hard because you have to put him in there and you got to think, okay, who else on this list could he beat?
Yeah,
right now if they did it.
Right, because Le'Veon was nice, bro.
Le'Veon was nice, but do you see him beating any other quote-unquote heavier cruiserweights on this list? Honestly? Like, I don't see him beating many. And this is why, and I'll lead this off, I think AP is going to be a journeyman here. Yeah. Because he is going to fight again, and this isn't even being disrespectful at all. He's going to fight again.
I've been here thinking, trying to like see how I can make him a prospect. Like,
there's no way at this point. You can't. And not because Le'Veon's bad, but because he's only had one fight.
Yeah.
And we didn't see anything that was uberly crazy, like skill-wise from him. He kind of stayed behind a stiff jab and a high guard basically the entire. And like you said during our breakdown, he was very reactive. It wasn't like he was creating in there. It was more reacting to what was happening.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what scares you when you watch a boxer, is a guy that can't create, a guy that isn't adapting as the fight goes on, but is just kind of reacting to things happening to him. Because eventually that's what happens. A guy gets KO'd because he hasn't understood what's happening yet. And unfortunately for AP, man, I unless you got something more convincing here, I think he's a journeyman at best. And it could be a hang him up. I'll give you journeyman, but it could have been a hang him up. I'm just saying.
You right.
It could be. Listen, I don't want to see AP fight. So if it's up to me, I'm saying hang it up.
Yeah, hang up. I get to see him. We haven't seen, only reason I'm thinking is because he didn't have an opportunity to fight like a YouTuber. Like he's fighting another world class athlete.
Pro athlete. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's just my personal thing.
Dude
I don't want to see him fight. But if we're talking about is he going to continue fighting, then okay, put him at journeyman. But I don't know.
If he's fighting just athletes, bro, yeah, hang him up. But
if he's fighting other influencers, like say some crazy way he gets a fight with Logan or he gets a fight with Josh Brueckner. I don't know if it goes any better for him.
All right, hold on. I wasn't thinking that high, you know. That's like contender.
Well, who else do we got his size? JMX. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
I did a thing.
Tate Daddy.
I did a thing. It's too dangerous. Never mind. I can't do that, bro.
Bro, he's hanging him up. AP, AD, all day. We love you to death, man. But go and find an NFL team that needs a running back because you don't need to do this, man. Don't do this.
Come join the
You can make way more money.
Come join the Hitman, bro. We can have another.
Come join Pineda in the hang 'em up squad.
we can be
okay.
You can be my running back for next year, bro. The Hitman.
There you go. Come join the Hitman, man. Come on. All right, next up, we have a former sparring partner of one Jake Pauler, a man that was at one point signed to Bellator MMA, the man that took Tommy Fury the distance. This is Anthony Taylor. Where do we put AT? In the influencer space, I'll start us off here. In the influencer space, AT has also fought Ryan Taylor.
I know they had a draw.
I think
to a draw.
Drew, yeah, to a draw. And this is going to lead to my point that AT is, and this is not disrespectful at all, he is 100% a journeyman in this scene.
That's what I was thinking, because the way that he approaches the scene is like a journeyman.
Exactly. Whenever, whoever, doesn't matter if he wins or loses, he's there to get a bag. And quite frankly, in one of his fights, you were there. It didn't even look like he cared.
Yeah,
right?
The performance at Showstar was literally like two journeymen.
That was journeyman to the T. Like, there's no more discussion. AT.
Yeah.
You're a journeyman, and we love you to death. But if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck.
A lot more potential than a journeyman, but it's just the way that he approaches it.
I know. All right, next we have another Showstar veteran here, and you can see by his picture here on the screen the man they call Arms Corleone for a reason. Where in the world is Arms Corleone?
They wanted me to fight that guy. I was like, did you even look at the statistics, the body here? What are we talking about here, bro?
Hey, you would have had your way though. Let's be honest. Come on.
Yeah, but
unless he landed,
bro, he's 6'5", bro.
Unless he landed,
like 300
he's 6'5".
6'5", 300 pounds.
I thought he was 6 foot or 6'2". I didn't know he was that big.
No, that's what. I
thought he was a muscle ball.
I know. Look it up. That's what I thought too. Then I looked it up. I said, what?
Dang. Now we know he is. I think he lost his only MMA fight.
Yes.
And then he beat, controversially, but he beat.
I thought he lost.
Minicon.
I thought he lost.
I think a lot of people are with you there that they thought he lost there. Had to get stretchered out. So hope his health is okay. I haven't heard anything since then. Hope he's doing all right. But where do we put Arms here? Because I think, like you said, a lot of people thought he lost that fight. It wasn't like he was terribly impressive, although he did do some things that I was like, okay, naturally he's a pretty decent athlete. He had some shifts in there. He was moving around a bit. But it was just so hard to really tell. And at that weight, at heavyweight, who's he really going to beat? I don't know if he ever does this again. Personally, I'm saying Arms, you don't need to. I know he's an MVP guy, like he's buddies with Michael Venom Page, but I don't think he needs to do this anymore. Stick with the fitness content. I think he needs to hang him up.
Wow. Yeah. Dang. I was thinking like a prospect, but I get what you're saying though, because I'm thinking the potential. I'm like thinking
he couldn't survive a 4-round fight, Sensei.
Yeah, you're right. I'm like thinking the potential of this guy is amazing.
There's too much mass on that individual's body. It's not made for this. This isn't Yoel Romero. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard for him to move in there. And a couple of these, and he's gassed. I just don't see a reason for him to continue doing it. Not that maybe there's potential there.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's ever going to realize it.
If you're talking about the reality of the situation, he probably shouldn't fight, as you're saying.
The guy had to get stretchered out. Stretchered.
Yeah, that's true.
And he won. It wasn't like he got hit hard. He won.
That's true. I forgot. I was there. I was there. But I forgot about that.
Skill-wise, it's hard to really say he's any good or bad because I didn't really see a ton.
Yeah.
But if we're thinking about his health, no, he shouldn't be fighting.
Yeah.
Hang him up.
I feel you.
All right, Arms. Skill-wise, maybe could have been up here. Probably here, but I think we need to hang him up, big man. All right, so next we have the man that they said did not want to fight Jake Paul. The man that somehow got looped in with a crime mob boss from Ireland because of his last name. It's Tommy Fury. Where in the world on this list does Tommy go?
I think he has to go contender. I'm interested to see what you think.
Tell me why you think contender.
Because he has a pro record, an extensive one, at this point now, and like when you just performance and his ability, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but let's hold on a second. We do have a man in the journeyman spot that Tommy fought. Didn't look the greatest.
Oh
right?
Yeah, I forgot they fought, dude.
Yes, and Anthony Taylor caught him with a couple overhands, and again, this is just playing devil's advocate because I don't necessarily not agree with you. I don't necessarily not agree with you because I do think in this list, Tommy has to be a contender. But it's not like a for sure because we just don't know enough yet. Like, does he beat everyone under him in this list? Yeah, probably. Right?
Yeah.
But the way he beat Anthony Taylor was like, ugh.
He did say, though, that they carried him on purpose to get the Jake fight. I don't know how much you believe, but I wouldn't.
But I've seen him fight since, and he looks the same, man.
Yeah.
Remember Long Neck? He fought Long Neck on the Tyson undercard. He fought me, basically. He fought the guys that they kept saying was me. The guy had a neck like ridiculously long.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he dropped him, but he couldn't get him out either, right?
Yeah.
Now, I agree with you. He's a contender, but what we have to see for Tommy to solidify this position is whoever he fights. And rumor is, and this is, again, strictly rumor is it could be Tyron Woodley in November.
Ooh.
But I don't know if he's going to take that fight. I think Tommy would be very silly to do that right now. But if he goes out and performs very well against that, then this is solidified. If he goes out and loses to Tyron Woodley, we're a bunch of idiots. But for now, Tommy Fury is absolutely a contender because he could fight Logan tomorrow. He could fight Jake tomorrow. He could fight KSI tomorrow. And that's the type of level you would want to see. That, like, you wouldn't be like, oh, that's an unfair fight. That's the level you'd want to see those guys.
Right, of course, yeah, definitely.
So, contender, fair play. Now we have the man behind Social Gloves 1 and 2, the main event in both. Lost money in the first one, but won his fight. Lost money in the second one, most likely, and the big gibber came and stole his lunch money.
Stole it, dude.
It's Austin McBroom. Where are we putting Austin here, man?
Solid fighter. That was the easy one for me. You know,
solid fighter.
With a win, he goes right to contender. Like if Gib never really makes, you know, he drops Gib again and he wins that fight, I think he goes to contender. But you know, with that loss, solid, and also he can't go lower. You know, Gib outworked him, but he landed. So he dropped him early.
Dropped Gib. Dropped him.
Was landing some stuff too.
Won the first couple rounds, I would say.
Yeah.
Maybe not this. I mean, the second. Yeah, I think he may won the second.
And he looked solid until defensively he just shut down, and the moment was too big, so he couldn't respond.
Yeah, the thing with me is too, though, it's like you throw Austin in there with Alex Wasabi. How does that fight go? Competitive, right? You know, I would say that's a competitive fight. But is Austin more quick? Is Austin going to sting him with the left hand? You put Austin in there with a DDG because Austin's not a big guy. How does that fight go?
Yeah, see, the thing is, he fought a different Gib. That's the thing, like Gib. If he fights Gib like a while ago,
if he fights Gib on Social Gloves 1, is that fight different in your opinion?
Oh, Austin back then, I think it is different.
I don't think it goes any differently. I think Austin still loses that fight.
Yeah, actually,
maybe not in the way he lost.
Gib versus Taylor, yeah, maybe not in the way. Correct.
But I think he still loses. I can give you solid fighter here, but I want to go prospect, not because he embodies what a prospect is necessarily.
Yeah.
But I think there's still so many questions with him that I don't know if he beats an Alex, if he beats, guys that we're going to put in this solid fighter position. I'll give it to you, but I still don't know. And to be fair, if we're doing this realistically, Austin's probably never going to fight again. I think he said as much. But if he were, I want to put him as a prospect. I really do. But I'll put him at solid fighter.
The thing for me, too, is both of his fights, he's knocked his opponent down.
Yeah, he put Bryce down. That's fair. Well, he didn't technically knock Bryce down, but he got the standing aids with him a couple times. But he did put Gib down, and that's a big deal, to put Gib down and be as successful as he was early on. Like I said, I lean toward prospect, but I'm not upset with solid fighter because I think Austin still could potentially get a lot better. You know what I'm saying? So, solid fighter, I'll take that. Next, we have the man with a face as blue as the sky. The man that can't seem to get in the boxing ring,
Dude.
but still finds ways to get in fights.
Yep, still scrapping.
He's still out here scrapping. It's Blueface. Where does he go?
I think prospect.
Okay.
He shows a lot of potential.
Why is that?
He shows a lot of potential, and he's getting better. Like, I think when we see him, we're like, ooh, like I consider him dangerous.
Yeah.
He just hasn't had that opportunity yet to like put it in a really big fight, you know.
See, this is the thing too, though. Now I look at Austin and I'm like, I want to put Austin at prospect because I think the same things about Austin, you know. Not that he doesn't have the opportunity, but I don't know, man. Like, if we're putting Blueface at prospect,
but who has Blueface beat?
I know. He beat Kane Trujillo. That was a nobody. But who has Austin beat? You know, he beat Bryce. You know?
Yeah, he did beat Bryce. Yeah, I don't know. I just think his performance wasn't terrible against Gib. Obviously, because the way the beginning of the fight went and his ability to close up, and Gib's solid. You know,
Gib is I think going to end up far higher than solid here. But yes, I understand your inference.
Yeah.
I think you're right with the Blueface pick. I think we put him at prospect. I'm not sold on Austin, so we're gonna have to paper rock scissors, bro. We're gonna have to do it. All right.
That's
on
fair.
3. Wait, how are we doing it? 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Yeah, rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay, here we go. You call it.
All right, go. Rock, paper, scissors. Your boy.
All right, man. Scissor me timbers. He keeps him at solid fighter. Next up, we have the man we were just talking about. The man that sold Social Gloves 1 like it was a Gucci or Prada purse. We're talking about Bryce, the Hitman Hall. I just gave him that name. That's disrespectful to Slim. Bryce, the sloth neck Paul or Ball or Hall, whatever his name is. Bryce Hall. What do we think, man? What do you think about Bryce Hall?
He's one loss away becoming a journeyman. I think he's still up. I would almost put him as a prospect. He's gotten better. I don't know. Do I put him journeyman? I don't know.
I think for now, it's tough to put Bryce as a prospect because he lost to Austin in a convincing fashion. But the prospect position is for guys that can come back. But I just think he could be a career journeyman here. But
you're right. A good performance, he's a prospect. A bad performance, he's a journeyman. He's like, to me, he's like right on the line.
I know, right on the line. But where do we put him? Because
he got finished.
Do we give him that other shot?
I think he goes down until he wins.
Yeah,
you know,
until he wins. Because again, we're going to use
performance.
I was going to say there's going to be some logic holes here because Logan's coming up and people are like, he hasn't got to win. It's about the performance and the strength of schedule as well, right? We're not, and if we were talking about promotion, Bryce would be near the top, right? Because he is a guy that brought a lot of eyes to that event, and he made a lot of people hate him, and he's not a bad guy. And I think Bryce is going to get a lot better. It's just we need to see it, right?
If Bryce,
we have to see it.
If he puts together a really good performance,
I think he
loses,
has that.
It can go up.
I think Bryce has a good performance in there, and I think the matchup was a little different for him. It was a southpaw, your first time fighting, and you got a southpaw in front of you. And I think, again, with the right opponent, I don't know who that is. Maybe a Joe Weller, somebody like that. I think he can really
Weller.
Yeah, give him Weller, and I think we move him not only up to prospect, we can move him up higher. But just as of right now, he just has not done enough because it's been one fight.
Even Deji,
and he didn't look great.
Deji would be a great fight.
I think it'd be a great fight for Deji, yeah. Bryce, again, would have to go in there with a southpaw, so maybe that would help him out. But, yeah, I think that Bryce and Deji's good. I think him and Joe's good. But for now, I think, he's gonna have to be on the journey.
That's fair.
Bryce a journeyman.
That's fair.
Next, we have – this is a little bit of a controversial thing I'm about to say because I don't actually know, but one half of the fastest knockouts in YouTube boxing history. The other one is – Salt Papi with Andy Worski, but we have Dad, a.k.a. Dad
that's
Fields.
Who that is.
Yes, and I don't know. People are saying that Salt Papi had the quicker knockout, Dad had the quicker knockout. We may be a little biased because we were on commentary for the Dad knockout, but that thing was quick. My boy Matt got one to the stomach, one upstairs, and it was Dunskies, buddy. What do we think of Dad?
I got to go prospect.
Yeah, I think you're right here. I think prospect is the best place for him because he is the quintessential complete enigma. We have no idea what his capability is.
Yeah.
Or where his ceiling is. The only thing that worries me is Dad is old.
Yeah,
old.
Exactly.
So how long can he keep up this prime physical physique and these knockout performances? And does his technique get better? Because it wasn't like he was throwing classic 1-2s. He was throwing bangs, son. I'm talking fastballs from the hip.
Slamming him.
What does he look like? What does he look like defensively? All those things. And this is why I think he's a prospect, because we have more questions than answers. But the one answer we do have is that he's got power in his hands and he can crack and he's got a W. That's really all you can say. Now, who does he, just a quick thing here, who does Dad fight next, in your opinion?
Dang.
We don't have to get too much into it, but I have no idea.
Yeah, no, how much does he weigh?
I want to say like 150, 160. He'll probably be on Crater Clash too, so we'll probably be there in person for that. We'll see then, but excited to see Dad fight again. We'll just leave it there.
Yeah,
now
tricky.
then,
That's a tricky one.
Sensei, I can't help it. There's some times where I get in this mood where I'm a charmer, I charm the ladies, but I also, there's a Cobra in the tier list and I'm trying to charm him. He's making his way in now. It's AKA Mr. Andrew Cobra Tate has made his way to the breakdown tier list. Where do we put the Cobra?
Straight to contender, in my opinion.
Now, why do you say contender over maybe a Let's Go champ? Why do you say that? Because technically he is a champion, right? Not in boxing, but he is a champion fighter.
I don't know. I think it's more that his style doesn't really. It's not very scary. Like like you look at his fights and his performances. Even his most recent ones.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh damn, bro. So it doesn't really. It doesn't really stand out in that way. Obviously he's a 4-time champion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like, we've had a guy like Woodley.
The reason I asked, would you put him?
Right. Who got KO'd, so it doesn't mean as much.
The champion
as
moniker, exactly.
Beforehand in our scene, scene has stepped it up.
I agree. The reason I say he could possibly be a Let's Go champ is because we are talking about, and we did already talk about this, him in a Logan fight, right? And possibly favoring him over Logan. I don't see, and that was maybe my thing, but
yeah,
him being in those talks, he's at least contender, and I think that's where we'll stick him because there's a lot of questions, like he would easily be Let's Go champ should he beat Logan, or should he beat KSI, or should he beat Jake? Obviously,
like he should,
but because he hasn't.
He should be Let's Go champ,
right?
But
we've said that about Tyron, and and it's because. And Tate's a little different because Tate is a striking champion, whereas Tyron Woodley was an MMA champion who predominantly was able to strike based on the threat of the explosion, the technique wrestling.
That is
those
true.
Things
that is true. Yes.
But Tate is a striking champion, which makes me want to put him at Let's Go champion. But Let's Go champion. That's the more official tier. It makes me want to put him at Let's Go champ. But I think because of what you're saying, in this scene, we have to really see, like, how does the IKSA...
Look at where our influencer space has come. We have 4-time champions who aren't even on the top.
We're hesitant to put them at the top. Because I want to put Tate at Let's Go champ because I've seen he's got fucking hammers.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, definitely.
When he touches you, you go to sleep, bruh. When the Cobra strikes, I saw one of the announcers saying that on this video.
When 8 rounds with Floyd, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's like,
I know, and it's like, how do we quantify these things? So I agree. Tate, he is at he's at contender with the opportunity, and the same with Tommy Fury. I think that's why it's a good match. That with the opportunity to beat some of these names that have been in the top of our scene, they easily could come right up here. But for now, I want to put him at Let's Go champ, but I think contender is the spot.
We can rock, paper, scissors, bro. I wouldn't be mad, bro. He's a 4-time kickboxer. I'm a kickboxer. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying, bro. 4-time kickboxing champ.
To me, he's right in the line. I think he should be Let's Go champ, but it's hard because he hasn't.
It's just
done
hard
anything.
to put him up there because it's been so long. He hasn't fought in a while. We haven't seen him against our guys. Yeah. No, you know what? Let's keep him at contender because it makes it more intriguing, and it makes us look less like idiots if he comes in and gets flatlined. No, I do. I like him at contender. I think that's a good spot for him. All right. Next, we have the man that probably should practice his backflips a little more, but his boxing technique is absolutely impeccable. He is the first signee of Happy Punch Promotions. Now, one of the fighters that you're the team captain of, it is none other than Dean the Great. What are we saying here?
It's tricky with these weight classes things, but I got to put him, man. Solid fighter. Solid fighter.
Why do you say he is a solid fighter versus a contender?
I'm close to putting him contender, but I'm trying to think the weight classes, and to be a contender, I think you have to fight someone who is a contender.
You have to demonstrate over longevity, like you are a top person in your scene based off experience as well as skill, in my opinion, is why we're putting contender there. And Dean has experience, just not on camera, just not sanctioned experience yet. Like, Dean is easily a contender, in my opinion. The guy's carrying around a belt. I know the belts are whatever, but there's a reason that people are so excited about Dean the Great. Right?
Yeah, skill-wise, immediately, he's up there. He could fight anybody in his weight class. Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like the only thing we're being cautious with is because this is still so new. Everything is still so young. And we have 52 fucking people on this list. So if Dean goes out and has another great performance, immediately, boom, contender. And then he goes out and has 2 more great performances, boom, immediately let's go champ. Because then we could be talking about, okay, he beats X, Y, and Z person. He's now the name at 125, 135, 145, wherever he wants to fight at.
Yeah.
That makes him a let's go champ. But for now, he beat Evil Hero. There's some things I like about Evil Hero, and I think we're going to get into in a little bit.
Yeah.
Which makes him a solid fighter, but I think there's still just more to see here. Still more to see.
Definitely. That's why I'm like, that weight class is tricky too, because who's he coming for,
I know. Well, you have, like we talked about, we have Walid Sharks out there. We have Adam Saleh, and those will be guys that are separators, in my opinion. Those will be the guys that I think will either make or break Dean's ranking on our list, and that'll produce a top guy because Walid has got amateur experience. Adam's got amateur experience. Now Jarvis is there as well.
Yeah.
There's guys, that'll be able to separate here. But I just don't think we can put him, I don't know. I don't know if we can put him at that contender level. But again, though, when we think about it, at his weight,
I know.
Who is the Andrew Tate at his weight, It's him.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Does Adam beat Dean?
See, that's
a good fight.
I know. That's what I'm thinking. Because I'm trying to think of who's the champ at that weight. Because I'm like, in my head, I'm like,
because there's not one.
They need to fight each other. So I can't really determine.
I say,
they need to.
I know.
Once they fight each other, then you're like, oh, this dude is.
I know.
But the thing is,
that's fine. I like solid fiiter for him. It makes me want to move Austin down more, though. It makes me want to move Austin down so much more because how do we have Dean on the same plane? I think we got to move. Did we rock paper scissors to keep Austin at solid fighter? We did, didn't we? Fuck.
He's like, I
don't like him there, bro.
Yeah, I know. I know what you mean.
Fuck it. We'll keep it there.
Well,
I just think Dean is really right here.
But here's the thing,
he's really there.
Dean, I know, but Dean fights Bryce. What I'm saying is, the guys who are at the lower weight class, besides Adam, who's fought Walid and these guys fought each other, they have he was expected to win.
Yeah,
they haven't fought each other yet. They haven't.
I know, and that's the thing. That's how it's going to determine because, like we said, when we talk about Adam, we talk about Walid, we talk about Jarvis. There's at some point they're going to have to fight it out, and that's where we'll get that real separation. You know what I mean? Oh, but next up, we have the man on everyone's mind right now, except Floyd Mayweather's because he doesn't know who he is apparently. But everybody else, he is getting, and this is insane. We're talking about Deji here. He's gone from a guy that on my last list was a hang him up. I told Deji to hang them up. Do not do this anymore. To then beating Fousey.
That's right.
Getting ready for that chip. Don't anticipate it, brother. It's coming. Don't worry. But to beating Fousey and now has a fight with Floyd Mayweather. Where does the tank Deji go on this list? And remove your recency bias. Let's take in the totality of things here. But where does he go?
Let's go champ. No, I'm just kidding. He gets champ
Easy.
just for securing the fight with Floyd.
He just goes above. Let's
He's
go
got-
champ. He's in the fucking ethos.
Solid fighter.
Solid fighter. Why do you say?
Can't put prospect. I just he lost to Jake.
Lost to Jake.
That's not a knock.
No, not at all.
Went 5 rounds actually. Put on a pretty
Went 5. Got the
pretty
towel
good
thrown on him in the
performance.
fifth.
Yeah, pretty good
Yeah.
performance, especially for a first time fight. In comparison, when you talk about opponents, in comparison to who other guys have had for their first opponent,
Right.
you know,
Right.
Jake. I mean,
But that was also partially due to what Jake became. It wasn't Jake at that time being
Correct.
Jake of now, right? It was.
but Jake wasn't bad.
There was a
then,
lot of
You know
guys.
what I'm saying?
If Gib fights that Jake, do you think that goes any differently? I think so. I think if that Gib fights that Jake, that's a more competitive fight than the
Like
Jake that fought Gib.
when Gib fought.
Right. Like you move Gib up on that card. The Gib that fought Swingler fights Jake of that night.
Oh yeah,
I think that's a more competitive fight on that night than the fight they actually had.
yeah.
Because Jake was nowhere near that level. You know what I
Definitely
mean?
more competitive.
Yeah. My point is that wasn't the Jake that we now know. So it is an impressive loss, but it's not that Jake, right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
And then we have the Vinny loss,
Vinny lost.
and that one's the one
Yeah, it is.
that's going to stick with him.
But that's like I know, but it was like clearly you're seeing like someone who has a lot of potential can fight, had success early, and then just straight up gassed out because he didn't train.
That was probably the worst Deji we will ever see.
Yeah, but like there was still a
it
lot
was
of
a guy
good
that
things
came
that
in-
you saw. You know,
Yeah, the natural talent has always been there, right? He came in and displayed that for about a minute or two, and it was just he was out of shape. The mindset wasn't right. The team wasn't right. He was in the worst position possible, quite frankly. And then the Alex loss. And again, there's some caveats, right?
yeah, I forgot about that.
Switched camp, got with his guy, got with Daly, started to improve. Not all the pieces were in place yet. And Alex was a little bit better than people gave him credit for, a lot better. And that's, depending on what Alex does, that can be an impressive loss too, but then he turns it around, puts it all together versus Fousey. So I think taking in the totality
Yeah,
of what we're doing here, I think Deji is a prospect. Because I need to see more. Because Fousey
yeah,
hasn't won a fight,
yeah, yeah.
has not been a guy that's been very successful, was never, in my opinion, a guy that was going to outskill Deji. It was more so, will Deji throw? Will Deji be able to get him off him? And we saw a completely revolutionized Deji in there. Fair play to him, but it wasn't like Fousey was strength of schedule number one. And that's not, again, a knock on Yusuf at all. Like, Yusuf was far better than I think a lot of people realize in that fight. And gave him credit for. Like, he wasn't great, but he was way better than he was, in my opinion, versus Slim. Just watching him move around, he felt a little more comfortable. It wasn't all there. It wasn't ever all going to be there. But I thought he looked a lot better than he did in the Slim fight. And Deji fought an improved Fousey. Gas tank-wise, shape-wise, mentally-wise, fair play to him, but I just don't think we could put him at solid fighter yet because I need to see more. Yeah. I'm ready if you are. I know you don't like that. I'm ready.
Well, Alex is above him, you know.
Alex has got to be above him. That's another thing, in my opinion.
That's what I'm saying. I'm looking at it there now, and I see prospect, and I don't like dad, and
And I know it's going to sound crazy, like our prospect is going in to fight Floyd, but it's just because Deji now, this new Deji, if he goes out and smokes Bryce, cool. Let's put him at solid fighter contender.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things. We caught him right as he's building back up. Because imagine he lost the Fousey fight. He'd be in to hang it up again. But he has elevated himself past journeyman.
Yeah.
To prospect.
Yeah. That's fair. There
it is. Deji, just know, Sensei went to bat for you. He tried. I was just too compelling in my arguments. Next, we have the man that seems to be the most irrelevant fighter on the planet. The man that has used Twitter to keep his name in the highest echelon while not being able to fight for the last 3 years. The man hated by most combat sports communities and formerly Conor McGregor's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coach. It is none other than Dillon Danis.
Journeyman.
What are we saying? Journeyman.
Bro, he hasn't fought a soul.
He hasn't fought a soul. But he is in talks, not in talks, but he is rumored to be taking on KSI or Logan.
Yeah, but
does that sway your argument at all?
No, because Pineda is on freaking hanging the gloves up. He just fought KSI.
Dillon's not Pineda. Come on.
I'm not saying that.
I think that there's enough mystery around Dillon to make him a prospect because he hasn't fought in boxing. I understand that. He is 2-0 as an MMA fighter. But I do think he's better than the guys we have at Journeyman. And I
just think the way he approaches it is like a journeyman. The way that he approaches the game.
What do you mean?
Like fights haven't been secured. Like he says, and the stuff when he says stuff, it doesn't seem like he means 95% of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To me, he kind of falls into the Anthony Taylor type. Like if he was active, but obviously he might be better. I don't know.
It's shtick. I understand that 100%. It's shtick. But the reason I think we put Anthony Taylor at Journeyman wasn't just because he takes any fight anytime he plays. It's because of how he performs in those fights. Like he doesn't care. You think Dillon Danis shows up to a KSI fight and doesn't care and just goes in there and says "fuck it"? Like let's play around.
No, but he hasn't. Like it's hard to put him at a prospect because he hasn't even fought. Like,
but I know. That's the hard part. You think of the word prospect and it's like the possibilities of what he can do is why I think about it. Like the possibility of Dillon Danis is he goes in, wins a fight. Like imagine he uses that grappling experience, that world-class ADCC grappling experience to transition into the boxing realm, starts over-unders, good clinch game, and starts working underneath. Imagine he goes in and beats a Logan. I'm not saying he does because I don't think he does, but imagine he did.
Yeah, but
right?
That's the thing. He don't have like.
But can you see it when you watch Dillon walk into a ring? Can you be like, oh, he could beat KSI, he could beat Logan? I'm not saying that he can because I don't think he can, but
no,
is it palpable? Can you see it happening? If you say no, then fair play. We'll paper rock scissors for it. But if you don't, if you think he could be,
because he doesn't have a striking background, nor has he done anything in striking.
Fair. No, I agree. His striking looks like ass.
Weren't both of his wins submissions?
They were both submissions. He got pieced up by two oil mechanics.
And Ben Askren was a champion.
He was a champion.
So what do we? You know what I'm saying? What do we? He was a champion. So and then where would we put Ben, bro? He's on the bottom.
I know. But the only reason we put Ben there was because Jake fucking flatlined him. But I just don't.
What's happening?
All right, I'm gonna because I truly believe he's a prospect.
Yeah,
we got to paper rock scissors.
Dillon, the only reason he's a prospect because of what he says in his little Instagram clips. You know what I'm saying?
I know, but that's the thing, and because you're interested to see him fight the top guys. I'm not saying his pure skill level makes him a prospect because, quite frankly, we don't know. In 2 years, he could have gotten a lot better. How many guys in this scene have gotten really good in 2 years behind the scenes? Right? Look at the difference from Alex in his spar with Fousey in 2-3 years later, going in there with Deji, right?
Yeah.
Look at Deji a year out. And again, those are active fights, I understand that, but Dillon has had 2 years to recover from this ACL. Who could say that he's, like, maybe he's just been boxing? I know I'm being very generous here and very, like, I'm trying. This is why I think he could be a prospect, but I don't think we could put him at Journeyman without a fight. That's why.
Yeah,
I'm saying, let's do it.
To me, I'm like, I can't put him at a prospect because he hasn't fought. We got to do it. We got to do it.
All right. On you.
Ready, go. Rock, paper, scissors.
Again.
Ooh, go. Rock, papers, scissors.
You fucker, bro.
I play this game every day with my students.
Oh, my God.
Every day
Why did I go
students.
scissors? Who goes scissors, bro?
Every day with my students.
Scissors never a second try. You go paper second try, bro. All right, man. Dillon goes to Journeyman with the possibility of going higher, depending on, and it's, again, he might have a fight in January that changes.
I think Journeyman is probably the wrong word for it.
I know. He is the tier below guys that have enough experience to be excited about. That's what we could say.
Yeah.
That's Journeyman is just our way of saying that. All right, next up, we have a man that is, we called Pineda the cranium of steel, but this guy really should be. This is the man that took a headbutt directly on and somehow live to tell the tale. It is none other than DK Money. Where are we putting DK here, man?
I think he's a prospect.
See, this is what I'm saying, bro.
See, but here's the thing, because he's fought. I gave him credit.
I know.
He got headbutted.
And he won, right? He won his fight with BK Bare Knuckle.
I think so.
I don't remember if he did or not.
I don't
People
know
are gonna roast us.
I don't know if he won that.
But I'm pretty sure he won. So yes, I can see him being a prospect.
He's out here doing BK. You know what I'm saying?
He's out here doing BK. He wasn't actually bare knuckle, but he was on the card.
Yeah. But I'm saying like he's out there.
But
competing.
yeah, it was a big event, somewhat. And he was probably going to win that Ryan Taylor fight. Let's be honest, because it didn't look like Ryan had anything for him with the hands in that fight.
Right.
So he would be 2-0, and again, not maybe the most stiff competition, but a guy that puts the work in. He's been over there with Coach Staff up in LA. He's put some time in. So if he's going to continue doing this, and I haven't heard any whispers about him doing it, I don't actually disagree with that. I don't mind seeing him at prospect. And people are going to look at this and go, "How do you put him there with Deji? That's crazy. Deji could beat him." All this. The list isn't necessarily who could beat who on any given night,
right?
Especially if they're not in the same weight class. But it is the performances they put in.
Correct.
As well as the skill level they've showed in those performances and the opponents they've done them against. That's why. Like, if DK Money was 2-0 against Logan and KSI, he'd be at Let's Go Champ.
Right. Facts.
Right?
Facts.
And if he was 2-0 against Pineda or if he was 1-1 against Pineda and Bryce, he'd be at Journeyman. But it's just like, for now, he's 2-0. Again, and one was probably, DQ, whatever. But still, I think he's a prospect. I think it's solid.
Yeah, I can't put him at Journeyman.
Next, we have the Doctor. Give me the news. We got a bad case of loving us some Dr. Mike. He's here. He's on the list. He's got a fight coming up versus Chris Avila on Jake's undercard, August 29th. Another way to showcase his skill against a pro fighter. Where does Dr. Mike go on this list?
Solid fighter. I think he goes solid fighter.
Okay.
Can't put him in contender.
Why not?
I think because he had quite an advantage against Ian.
What was the advantage you think
like
there?
size-wise?
The weight?
Yeah, size-wise and the weight. And
let's not forget. Now, yes, he did have the advantage. Let's not forget that Dr. Mike had to come down too. Dr. Mike originally a 195 or 200 had to come down to 185.
Yeah, okay.
Now Ian did have to come up 20 pounds, which is crazy. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it just seemed. I don't know, like if
Dr. Mike should have won that fight, in my opinion.
Right, and probably should have gotten the finish. Like he gets a finish and is like very clear as day. I think, because contender's hard. I think it's gonna be hard.
It's a hard thing to do.
It's
right
gonna be hard to get into. Like one win, and it wasn't a finish, and it's not like, ooh, you're scared. Like he's scary, but not like. He
didn't just leave him dead. He didn't leave Ian flatline.
Yeah, so like I see a bit. He did land some freaking right hand hammers.
He landed some hammers though, and Ian, fair play to him, he took them.
I think he's like one away. I think he's one performance
away
from being a contender.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of guys on this list too. We're going to say that about a lot of guys. Yeah. One away, and again, it's because we're so young in this scene. But I agree, Dr. Mike, solid fighter, one away from contender, and again, in that space, one away from here. Should he really show out? But I think Dr. Mike absolutely has the potential to be not only contender but Let's Go champ if he continues doing this. He's a dangerous guy. I think he's going to surprise some people with this Chris Avila fight.
Yeah, it's Tommy Fury.
Next up, I don't know if you can even see this picture. Do you know who Ed Matthews is?
I think I saw him recently. Who did he call out? I think there was some weird stuff about him calling out.
He called out Bryce Hall, but he actually had a fight. This was the guy that main evented Kingpin and was pulling out dildos at the press conference to slap the Simple Simon guy in the face with, because there was OnlyFans chicks on the cards, and I don't know, but there was a massive black dildo on the the press conference. It was huge. He pulled it out and was like swinging it at him.
Hang him up, bro. Hang him up. I'm done.
Hang him up.
Right to it.
Hey, he's 1-0. He beat Simple Simon, and Simple Simon's like 53, I think. He's an old guy. I don't know what he does, but he's old.
What's going on, dude? What's happening? What the frick is happening? What the hell?
But I think even with that win, and this is not a disrespectful thing to Ed Matthews, because I don't know if he's going to even continue doing this. I think he called out Bryce, but I think Bryce is a good fight for him as well. He's going to continue doing it. I don't mind having more guys in the scene. I'm not going to say hang it up after a win, but I can put him at journeyman because I don't think outside of the Bryce fight he has a lot of longevity.
The guy was 53.
That was a generalization, but he was old. He had gray hair. He had to have been in his 40s, late 40s or 50s.
Yeah, journey. Put him next to Dillon.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he's a journeyman for now. Put him next to Dillon, he said. Fair play with the promo. I didn't understand it, quite frankly, but there was dildos flying around. That's all I'm going to say.
What the hell?
And
man?
Speaking of dildos flying around, next time. Nah, man, we gotta show some respect. The man himself.
We gotta show love for my boy Jake Paul.
I know this is your dude now, bro. This is your guy.
Bro.
You're a Jake Pauler, man.
Let's go, champ.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go.
It's Jake Paul, and I think this one's a pretty obvious one, and you're kind of already saying it. Why is Jake Paul a Let's Go champ in your opinion here?
Bro, he's undefeated.
Yep.
And his resume.
The resume is ridiculous, bro.
Crazy, bro.
It went from, okay, what are we doing here, to, oh my God, he's fighting the greatest striker that's ever lived. Insane. The levels. And I know that people are going to call us a bunch of dick riders or whatever, and that's not the case at all. It's just you have to take in the totality of what Jake's done that no one else here has done yet. Not that they can't, but they haven't yet.
Jake literally, because of what he's done, changes the way that we categorize everybody else.
Yeah. And that's the honestly, that's the best way you could put it. Because without Jake on this list, Andrew and Tommy are probably Let's Go champs. And everybody else that we put in contender.
Correct.
Yeah. So it's like Jake has separated himself. And again, it's not because Tommy can't beat Jake. It's not because Andrew Tate can't beat Jake.
Right.
They absolutely can. But we don't know yet. And what we do know is Jake is fighting one of the greatest ever. And he's undefeated. And he's knocking fools dead. He's not giving the Tommy versus Anthony Taylor performances. He's not, again, this isn't a knock on Tate, but he's not out of the game for 3-4 years and 37.
Right.
It's not the same, right? Jake has been active. He's been continuing to up the levels, and he's fighting Anderson. And if he beats Anderson, we have to make a different level. We have to, because that's fucking crazy. I don't care if he's 47. It's nuts.
That is
but
crazy.
Jake Paul, we agree.
This was the easiest one besides Pineda.
I think you're right. That's a Let's Go champ. All right. Next, we have the man that fought Dean at X Series 1 and is now with Brian Valoria at Brickhouse Boxing in Los Angeles. It's Evil Hero. Where are we putting him? By the way, I'm liking the way this list is coming out. I'm liking this.
Yeah, I'm looking here. I got to put him at Journeyman just because, one fight. Was it in the first?
He's had another fight with BK.
Oh, he did have a fight with BK.
And I don't remember if he won or not. I think he did.
I forgot he had the fight
continue.
with BK. But it was a first round loss to Dean? Was it first?
No, I think it was, something around there.
It was second?
Did he go the distance with Dean?
No.
Did Dean stop him?
Yeah.
No, Dean stopped him.
No, Dean stopped him. Yeah.
Yeah. Dean stopped him, but I want to say it was in the second. Maybe it was in the third. I don't remember. But he didn't look terrible. He looked like a guy that still needed some more work.
Yeah.
Still had some more time, but he's in good shape. He's with Brian Valoria. I'm not going to put him at
See, that's the thing. I look at Prospect. I'm like, I don't. People have won at Prospect.
I don't know, man. He might qualify for Prospect because he's only had 2 fights. He's 1-1. I think. I could be wrong about that.
And Dean is like solid, almost a contender.
And Dean is a guy that I think is going to be right at that level, if not higher, for a long time. Evil continues doing this. He does have something, right? He does, for 3 months of training, like actual training with Brian Valoria, he didn't look terrible. He landed some shots on Dean. It wasn't like he
that is true. For only
cracked
3
him,
months.
but he landed.
Yeah, for 3 months.
Yeah. I don't want to put him at Journeyman because but at the same time, I just don't know. I say we put him at Prospect, man.
I think he has potential, but we just couldn't see it. Again, I think because I'm not really looking at the BK, he has to get credit there. I can see the Prospect because he gets credit for. I think if he just has
being on that card,
if he just has the Dean performance, the fight,
we could put him at Journeyman.
Yeah, but because he has the other fight too, I'm not.
So he's a Prospect.
I'm over here slacking. Dude.
All right, Evil. Okay, Evil.
My bad, bro.
Okay.
My bad, dog.
Well, now then, we have the 7-figure Gibber, the man that just took down Social Gloves. I would say in one single swoop, but it was more like 5 knockdowns. It is AnEsonGib. This one is interesting. Where do we put Gib?
A contender.
Has to be, right?
Yeah.
Has to be. Like, there's no question at this point. Last year, I think I put Gib at solid fighter.
Yeah.
And it was because he was just had come off the Taylor win. Still fresh in your mind, that one, but also all the Jake loss was there too. We just didn't know enough. Like, where does he line up against some of these guys? But you can't put him on the same level of Austin, which I've already stated. I don't think Austin should be there. But you can't put him there because he brutalized Austin on his own event.
Yeah.
And he's shown himself to be one of the only guys, Sensei, that is continuously getting, not just upping the levels, but continuously getting better.
Yeah.
Like, you could argue that Jake has had a bit of a plateau here, at least in his skill development, right? You haven't seen any differences from Tyron Woodley 1 to Tyron Woodley 2.
Right.
Not big ones anyway. That right hand we knew was there. Gib, we've seen dramatic differences from Jake to Taylor to Austin, you know? And I'm not saying that makes him better or worse, but he just shows the level he's getting to. So I think Gibbo is a contender, and that's pretty obvious in my opinion.
Yeah.
Big up, big freaking Gibber. All right, next up we have Halal Ham. Halal Ham. The man that has been on multiple cards at this point. I don't think he's won a fight. No, wait, did he win? I think he won one fight. Yeah, he got a decision win. Okay, so he's 1-1. Don't know who Drizzy Jeremy is, and the fact that he's not on this list probably is a big indicator that it wasn't a very important win.
No.
That's not to be disrespectful to Halal Ham. I think he's gonna be fighting soon on X Series 2, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he is fighting. He's fighting DTG coming up, so this could potentially influence where he ends up on this list. Obviously, we're making it beforehand, but we'll do updates. He's 1-1. Now fighting DTG, not DDG. I think his skill level isn't the worst.
Right.
But his performances haven't been the best, even with the win.
I think he goes.
This is going to sound disrespectful.
What are you saying?
But I don't mean it to be. I think he's going to have to stick at journeyman for right now.
The only thing is, I think he gets credit for
the Drizzy Jeremy win, or because he went the distance.
Because he went the distance with Papi. Because I thought Papi should have finished.
That's a good point.
I thought he should have finished that.
It's a good point.
Because
Papi should have probably finished that fight, and the fact that now people are seeing what he did to Andy Worski and being like,
correct.
"Oh my god." But again, Papi was a little heavier. That is not his natural weight. He was a big boy in that fight. Probably affected his ability to finish that fight too.
Yeah, but I just like, he goes a distance with Papi. Like, Papi is very dangerous, and he's going to continue to be dangerous. Like, look at where we're talking about him now, and then this kid, and then Halal goes the distance with him, and also has a win.
I know. And also has a win.
Hasn't been like beat up. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
Against a dangerous guy.
Against a dangerous guy. No, that's fair. You know what? I will retract. Let's go prospect. That's fair. Because again, people are gonna look at this and be like, how could you put Deji in the same thing? Remove your recency bias, and even Blueface, remove your recency bias. Deji has one win.
Yeah.
And again, strength of schedule matters. The guy that beat Halal Ham is one of the most, talked about guys in the scene right now. So I think that's fair.
Literally, so Papi's about to be like Jake KSI, like he's up there.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, next we have Hundar, a.k.a. the God of War, the man that Jesus, the man that fought, the man that farts. The man that fought Star. It was Fought Star. That's what it got me. Fought Star Killer, a.k.a. AB from H3, on Creator Clash. A fucking entertaining fight. Love that fight. That was an amazing one. But he says the only reason that AB's not on this list is I don't think he's going to be boxing anymore.
Yeah.
But Hundar says he wants to. So if he does, and if he gets the opportunity, where does Hundar go? Does have a win.
He's like the perfect person for prospect.
Yeah, he's the perfect one. And it's not because, and also, I think Hundar is a little older. We're talking about a guy I think is in his mid-30s now. Could be a little bit older than that, actually.
Him and Dad should fight.
Him and Dad should fight. That would be amazing. I don't know if they're the same weight class, but that would be fun.
Yeah, make it work.
Hundar does have some big-time power. Technique left a lot to be desired. It wasn't the greatest showing of technique between him and AB, but he'd only had 8 months of training. And I think it's a guy that we can absolutely put right into that prospect range and say, what do you do on Creator Clash 2? Because I do think he is going to try to vie for a spot there. And speaking of Creator Clash 2, we have now Idubbbz on this list. Where does he go on here?
I think he goes prospect too, only because
I know we're putting so many people in prospect, bro, but it's just
the spectrum on each category is difficult, because like
I know
because
I honestly I want to put guys like Hundar in the journey, or not Hundar, guys like Evil in the journey, and guys like Halal Ham in the journey, but you can't because they have wins, and
yeah,
I don't know, and Ian obviously he has a loss, but he has a loss to Dr. Mike.
And Dr. Mike, we have a solid, so we can't put him.
We have him as a solid fighter, so we can't put him any higher. And again, Austin being in there is bananas to me, but there he is. And then we have Ian, who didn't, in my opinion, was, like you said, there was a bit of a disadvantage there in that fight for him. He held his own as far as just staying in there. He didn't necessarily overtake that fight in any way. He won maybe a round or two. I think he'd be generous to give him a second one.
Him and Alex
is the fight. That is the fight.
I would love
and
to
that
see
one
that.
will determine exactly where Ian is. And I don't know if that's being worked on. I really hope it is. But I can agree for now, Idubbbz has got to be a prospect because he can absolutely make this fight competitive.
He's right on the top edge of it.
Yeah, and if that's what, like, if we get to the point where we have like 2 lanes here, we'll do that. We'll put some of the people on top, because I think we will at some point. We'll have like 2. It'll get so big that we have like, and then we'll put some people on top and some people on bottom.
Yeah.
And that'll be like the way we separate prospect. But he is absolutely a guy that is competitive with Austin. I think I would even, he's competitive with Alex. I think he would be competitive with Austin.
Yep.
And we've already seen he wasn't necessarily as competitive with Dr. Mike, but he held his own in that fight and he landed some shots. And that's why he's not at that solid fighter level yet. And Dr. Mike could possibly go up. So I think it's a fair rating. Now we have, and I think I know what we're going to do with this one too, but now we have FaZe Jarvis. Well, formerly FaZe Jarvis, now just Jarvis.
Yeah,
but
boy Jarvis.
Your boy still. Listen, the only thing that I'm going to say here is that Jarvis hasn't done anything since the last time I put him on a list. So it's hard to move him, right?
Yeah.
Last year I had him at prospect. He hasn't done anything since. I can't move him down for Can we move him down for inactivity? I don't think so, because that's most of the scene.
Yeah, no, we can't move him down to Journey, man.
I know. Well, see, that's the name. The name is throwing you off. It's
this
like,
dude's got
okay,
a KO.
Journey,
You know what I'm saying?
I know, but think about this. It's like, yeah, but that's why I didn't want Dillon Danis and Journeyman. But yeah, no, I think that he has to remain a prospect because he does have a KO win, and because he hasn't done anything to put doubt in our minds as to what level he's on. We still are curious as to where he can be.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think he's a prospect as well. Then we have Jay Swingler coming up in a main event, X Series 2. Where do we put Jay Swingler?
Dude, I don't know. He goes in the same. This prospect.
He goes in the prospect, bro.
He's perfect. They're like perfect for it.
This is the thing too, though. The reason, and people are going to get upset, like we should have had more categories, and maybe we should have 7 categories for 52 fighters is probably not enough.
Like between prospect and journeyman.
I know we should have had like a prospect and then something and then solid fighter. That's what we'll do next.
I guess like potential.
Up and coming and then prospect.
Has potential or something.
Has potential, and then what would be above prospect? Because fuck it, we may just do it right now.
I don't know about above prospect. I just think that between prospect and journeyman, I think there's people that we would drop, but we don't want to put them in journeyman.
Fun fighter. Just name it something super general. Fun guy, fun fighter.
Very
fuck it.
Very feel.
We'll keep the
very feel.
Very feel. Oh my God, very feel should be right under Let's Go Champ. Very feel. That's so funny. I know that's what we should have done is maybe because we have 52 of these guys, maybe we do another category next time. But we'll fix it after, like when January comes around, we'll redo this thing and we'll fix it, okay? But for now, yes, he's a prospect because he has one loss. It's to the man that we have at Contender, and it was a close fight, even though Gibbs started to railroad toward the end there. But Jay is in a main event. We're going to see he's been apparently doing this behind the scenes, so fair play.
Yeah, and he had a good performance. You know what I'm saying? Like
it wasn't a bad performance in the loss at all. No. He had a great performance. And I think people are going to be surprised at what he brings to the table. I don't know who the guy is he's fighting, but I think he's going to smash that guy. All right, next up we have JMX, and that is the only picture you can find of him on the internet when you type in JMX boxing. Listen, I'm not mad at it, man. It's shredded. Where, and again, JMX hasn't done anything since the last time I had him on my list, and I know where I want to put him, but where would you like to put him?
He had that MMA fight, right?
He won his MMA fight. He won his boxing fight. That's all we've seen. He also had, apparently his shoulder was out of place, so he was fighting southpaw, and I don't know if he actually is.
That is correct. I know that to be.
But it didn't look like he wasn't a southpaw. Like, he was moving pretty well for a guy that isn't a real southpaw. I'll say this. I'll start it off. I think he's a solid fighter.
Yeah. That's where I'm, like, I don't want to put him in prospect, but I think he's, like, on the bottom tier solid fighter just because of, like, inactivity, and he hasn't done anything in a while. You know?
Right, but if we're not punishing Jarvis for the same thing.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
You can't punish JMX, right?
No. I think the MMA.
And I think if you have him in talks, which Happy Punch, you're the captain of that ship over there. They've reported today that he has got a hit list out, and names like Dr. Mike are on this list. Your boy Temperrr's on that list. Slimmy's on that list. There's a lot of guys that we're going to put in the higher tiers here that if he feels he's competitive with, and we're not just basing it off what he feels, but big guy, long range, only has wins. I think he's a solid fighter.
That's what I was thinking initially. I just didn't know. I thought you were thinking prospect, but I was thinking solid fighter.
No. Solid fighter for sure. No, I think JMX has done, again, he's done more in multiple sports. He has more wins than everyone in our prospect range.
Yeah.
Not necessarily just boxing, but he has more wins in totality, and I think he's a guy that, even with the inactivity, he's going to come back and surprise a lot of people. I think I've said this, and Logan has upped the level since, but before Logan fought Floyd, I thought that would have been a competitive fight. Like, if they had done it before Logan started that 8-month training camp for Floyd, I thought that would have been competitive.
100%.
All right, next, we have the man that takes reservations at the car park and says, meet me out there if you're man enough. The man that once fought JJ in one of the bigger launching pads for YouTube boxing after him and Theo Baker created this shit. It is Joe Weller. Where are we putting Joe?
I think Joe needs to keep the gloves hung up.
Yeah, I agree. And it's not because I'm not interested to see Joe fight or because he wouldn't have good matchups.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, Joe could be a journeyman here because the way he lost wasn't terrible.
That is true.
And it's a good fight between him and Bryce, I think.
Like, yeah, he could still, like, you would want to see him
he
fight
still
again.
Have competitive matchups, right? Or at least
yeah, he's competitive,
ideally.
and like, you want to see him fight again in a way. So I think he's more of a definition of a journeyman. It's not like you don't want to not see him fight, you know?
Yeah, and I think again he has some competitive fights there. I say we go journeyman with Joe. He's not a Pineda. I still think he would have some fun fights here.
Just the whole vibe at the show was weird. The whole like scuffle thing was crazy.
It was crazy, man. It was crazy. Joe's a madman. A madman. And speaking of a madman, it only takes a certain level of insanity to put a Pokemon card in a necklace that's worth $5 million and wear it as a walkout piece to a ring, not thinking someone in Miami, Florida is going to snatch that chain. Luckily, it didn't happen, but
Psycho.
The man that snatched a lot of imagination and what he thought would be a quick payday turned out to be a loss and getting robbed, Logan Paul, a.k.a. the man that went 8 rounds with Floyd Mayweather, is next on our list. Where do we put Logan?
Contender. Can't put him Let's Go champ. He hasn't won.
And this is where I have a beef with him putting him at contender.
And his Jake's resume is just, to me, so much freaking stronger.
Oh, no. I was going to put him at solid fighter.
Oh,
because I know. And the Floyd fight makes it a little different. I understand, because he showed in the Floyd fight he is on a level that is easily contender. But the losses, man, and the ties always bring me back to being like, how can I put him on a level with guys that have wins? How can I do it? And it's not because Logan isn't as talented. And it's not because I wouldn't favor Logan in some of those fights, because I would. But it's like, how do I put him on that same level if he hasn't won? If we're being consistent and he keeps losing, even if he looks good while losing, how do I do it?
Here's the thing. He didn't lose the first one.
He didn't lose the first one. He drew, even though you could argue that he did lose the first one, but he drew.
You could, but it was a draw.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Then the second one, without...
You didn't do the 2 points thing?
Now, I still think that he got knocked down. I know he got knocked down. I think
he got dropped.
He got dropped, and they didn't count it.
They didn't count KSI's drop. That's the big thing.
Correct. But
so if they didn't, if they
it's
didn't,
not the
if
2
you're going to
points
give me
for
the
me.
2 points,
it's not the 2 points. What it is when JJ got dropped,
right?
He got a lot of time to recover.
A lot of time to get his legs under.
And for Logan to cool down.
Yeah.
I think even if the 2 points are deducted, but it's like we're giving them the count and then you're right back in.
Yeah.
Because that uppercut, bro.
Brutal. One of the best shots we've ever seen in this scene. Saw Papi's left hand and that uppercut.
And we
obviously in Jake's right hand on Tyron, but those three are some of the most iconic. And now Gibbs' right hand on Austin. Yeah. Iconic.
And it's like, so like, we haven't seen Logan.
But the loss is the loss.
Yes, but Logan then fought Floyd, and we have not seen Logan get beat up, bro.
Yeah, we haven't seen him get tuned up.
We haven't seen him get tuned up, get cracked. He landed punches on Floyd, which is legendary.
And Logan's strength of schedule is unlike anyone else's.
It's KSI for Floyd Mayweather. We're talking, let's go champ, or you know what I mean, however you want to, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay, there's a spoiler from you right there.
Well, yeah, I mean, everyone he's fought.
But no,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's tough. Yeah, no, I get it. It's tough, man. All right, we're gonna have to Rochambeau because I think Logan is right on the same level as guys like Dr. Mike right now, and even JMX as far as just the strength of schedule is different. And I know that
is
the
fair,
Floyd thing should put him at
the opponent thing, and then also his performance, like draw, and then
loss, effectively lost, but yeah,
a loss, but like
not counted. But yes, he lost the Floyd fight.
Correct.
But it wasn't like it was a bad showing. I get that.
Right.
Fuck it. Okay.
Didn't get beat up. He didn't get beat up.
I know. We'll put him at contender. No,
the Floyd thing was a dub for Logan. The Floyd thing was
100% a W. No, I agree. We should put, and I had Logan at solid fighter right here last year specifically because I couldn't put him on the same level or higher or whatever as KSI. But that Floyd fight does make all the difference. Fair play. Logan is now a contender even though he hasn't won a fucking fight. And now FaZe Sensei. Your bitter rival.
Oh, yes.
And speaking of bitter, it's time, my man.
No.
It's time.
No.
Because Kenny is now next on the list, and he turned that heat up on you in the ring. I'm about to turn the heat up on you right now.
Oh, boy, bro.
FaZe Sensei, it is a break in the action for you to try the one chip challenge. And while you're doing that, I'll get the next thing set up here. Let's get it. I'm actually concerned for your health right now. I hope you know.
Bro, me too.
I'm actually concerned. All right, let me put all these names up here in the right order.
Let me line my freaking esophagus real quick.
Don't do it. Hold on, I'm not watching you. Wait till I
I'm just lathering it with milk. I'm about to do it.
Lathering it? Yeah, explain what you're doing to the camera so the people know here.
Okay. Dude, first of all, I was on Google way too much. Can't be doing that stuff.
Oh, you Google doctored this thing. No.
Yeah, bro, and it wasn't good. So.
Oh no.
When I went to 7-Eleven to get this thing, the dude behind the counter looked at me like I was psycho, bro. And he was like, "Don't, you know what? No, I can't say it, but you really shouldn't." Like he's like, "Ugh."
He was like, "You really shouldn't." Oh no.
Yeah, dude. I'm
not playing.
I'm gonna give my second shot a Pepto, dude.
Yeah, go ahead and let that thing coat the stomach because you're gonna need it, brother.
Bro, this thing. So, like hot wings, right? Is like
yeah.
The Scovilles are like, what is it?
So the people don't know this, but you're not a big spicy guy to begin with.
No.
Which is flat out disrespectful, seeing as your Puerto Rican heritage is coming into play here. Here we go, man.
Yeah, hundreds, like it's like 200,000 Scoville, like the stuff you see on hot wings, right? Yeah. And they be tweaking. This thing is 2 million, bro.
Bro, we still have like 18 people. I don't even know how we're gonna finish this.
Bro, we just gotta speed it, bro. We're gonna have to speed it.
We'll speed run it. All right, here we go, man.
Bro, like dude.
The Sensei one chip challenge break.
I need to like go into my David Goggins mode right here, bro.
You have to, bro. Because you're overthinking it. We're both overthinking it right now.
No, I don't think I'm overthinking it, bro. I don't think I'm overthinking it. No. Bro, what is this? Look at this thing. This thing is sealed up.
Is it one chip? Oh, dude, you got to smell it first. You got to take it in and smell it. What? They sealed it?
Bro, this thing, okay. Made with the Carolina Reaper pepper and Scorpion pepper. This is the
Scorpion pepper?
Yes, this is the hottest thing on planet Earth, bro. It's the 2 hottest peppers, bro. Period on planet Earth, bro. This is literally the hottest. This is literally the hottest thing.
Should we wait? Should we wait till the tier list is over? Because I don't even know if you're gonna be able to talk.
Nah, bro, we're gonna do it, and I'm
okay.
Prospect, this, and we're just gonna run through it.
Fair.
One supercharged demon powered, the most electrifying pepper on Earth, bro.
Man said supercharged demon powered.
Bro, hold on a second. I just want to make sure.
Oh my god, bro.
Rules for the challenge: eat the entire chip. No, I ain't doing that. Get out of here.
You'll get one bite.
Prove it.
But
show
does
us your
it say
tongue.
you shouldn't talk though? After
wait as long as possible before drinking or eating. As part of the challenge, it says post your reaction on social media. Hashtag no. Get all that.
But wait, does it say you shouldn't talk? I don't want it to exasperate because you're talking.
No. Wait, what? Oh, there's other ones? Who would do... Oh, wait, how long can you last before you short circuit? Okay. 1 minute is powerless. 10 minutes is powerful. 30 minutes
Oh, this is before you need something to drink.
1 hour is invincible, dude. I think
does that mean before you get something to drink?
Yeah, bro. I don't know what the record is, but I'm pretty sure it's like minutes.
Okay. Do you want me to time you?
Yes.
Okay. I'm ready when you are, man.
Drinking anything for relief. Yeah, well, I'm going to be doing it, bro. Oh, dude.
I was going to say, yeah, you better have, you got the milk.
It's time to lock in.
You want water too? Do you got everything?
No,
you ready?
Water doesn't help. I heard.
Okay, it's just milk. All right.
All
right. When you're ready, ladies and gentlemen, this is our punishment for FaZe Sensei getting out-predicted. Get outplayed, bro.
Give me, real quick, paper towels, bro. From the
kitchen. Yeah. You're going to need that for the crying and the snot.
I'm going to be leaking, dude.
Yeah, 100%. All right. I just want you to describe the smell, everything. This is your moment.
Bro. I feel like I'm literally walking into the ring
You couldn't even open it.
I got to make sure I don't
even that's probably like a smelling salt, dog.
Bro, my heart's racing, bro. Bro, I don't know what to
Give me a whiff. Give me a whiff.
Bro, what is that, bro? Damn, that smells nasty too, dude. Doesn't even smell good, bro. Be careful.
What are we saying?
That smells like poison, bro.
I'll take it without the sauce, without the juice.
Oh, that man's dangerous.
You can feel like bro, it smells. Why does it smell nasty, bro? I thought it was going to taste good.
You thought that was going to taste good? Heck no.
Careful, bro. Bro.
Imagine.
Okay.
All right, I got the timer ready. What are you doing? You doing one big bite? That's it? Or are you doing the whole deal?
Oh, okay. So this is broken.
Okay, so do whatever you feel. Oh, bro, buddy.
No, I cannot do that whole thing, bro.
There's buddy.
Pieces. I can't do that whole thing, bro. Look at the size of this thing.
Okay.
Bro, that whole
Whenever you're ready.
bro. I'm trying to see. This thing is caked.
Caked up.
I'm trying to see how much I'm gonna be. So
that shit caked.
I'm just gonna take a solid bite.
All right, do your thing, bro. I'm ready.
I'll put the rest of it back in and then close it. We gotta close it up so my freaking cats and dogs don't eat it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, bro.
Here we go, baby. This is that punishment, baby. Come on.
Damn it. Okay. Time to lock in.
Zone in. Lock in, baby.
Ooh, that was a big bite.
That was a big bite. Timer's on right now. The timer is on.
All right, this is the first swallow.
Timer is on.
All right, let's start reading off, bro.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, let's do it. Next up, we have
Here it
King
comes.
Kenny. King Kenny. What do you think for King Kenny, man?
Bro, this thing is fire, bro.
You're at 35 seconds. King Kenny,
Damn,
where does he
bro.
go?
Where's Kenny gonna go?
Solid fighter. I need to see the list.
Oh, yeah, my fault. I got you. Solid fighter on yours?
God damn, bro.
He's just taking his time.
All right, there's the list.
Wait.
So King Kenny, you're saying solid fighter. Why is
thing is
Kenny a solid fighter? What's that? I didn't hear you.
It's solid because you got a decision against me. Oh. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, but he lost to Temperrr, Sensei. Talk to me about, he lost to Temperrr. Then he comes back, gets the win against you.
Bro, this is hot.
You tapping out?
This thing
1 minute,
is
20
burning.
seconds. Oh, no.
Bro, I
His
feel like,
camera froze.
Are you gonna hold out on it? You gonna
God damn. I can't explain. Solid.
I don't
Just
know
solid,
where he
bro.
went. His camera froze.
Wait, are you still here?
Sensei,
Did I
where'd
lose
you
him?
go?
Oh, he's still there.
I think I lost him.
He's frozen.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
I'm going to keep the timer going. I'm going to keep it going.
So is it Tommy?
That was for Kenny.
Kenny's solid.
Sensei, you there?
It said disconnected. I'm still recorded, though. Oh. I lost him.
That sucks.
I'm still recorded, though. I'm leaking.
Really, you can hear.
Yo. Oh.
You're gonna be hurting tomorrow.
Yo.
He's hurting right now.
Bro, what happened?
You're frozen on my screen. You all right?
You're frozen on mine.
He's hurting.
All right, let me stop.
God damn,
Let me here. Why don't you exit the thing and then come back in?
Yeah, it's your service. Your internet.
How you feeling?
Is my internet? No internet. My internet disconnected, bro.
I'll exit the.
Hold on.
Your internet disconnected?
Yeah, I don't know why. Check.
Okay,
Oh my god.
check it out. I'm chilling over here. I'm just remaking the list, but I'm chilling. You feeling all right though? Yeah.
Bro, what's that?
You're good. Okay, good. All right, man. You back? You able to talk?
Right.
Okay. His internet
Hello.
was more freaking. The internet went out. Apparently, the chip was so. Oh my lord.
I'm good.
The chip was so hot it burnt
No. I don't think
the
so.
actual circuits.
Hopefully don't.
On,
Bro, if I need a trash barrel, oh my god, it's gonna be a wrap. It's gonna come up my nose. It's gonna be burning. I'm gonna be crying forever.
So talk to the people. Your internet went out as you were going through that.
Yeah, what the hell's
Tell
going
the
on?
people what you were feeling.
Bro, this is. Bro. I'm not even.
I've never done that, by the way.
Like wasabi
wasabi, like you put on sushi, like that stuff is like more like like
That's
sauce.
hot.
It's
Yeah.
like spicy, like my face gets red. Bro,
Yeah.
this thing is not even like hot. It just, bro, it literally feels like I just drank super hot tea, bro, and my whole mouth just got burnt.
It just burnt you up. It wasn't
Yeah.
like temperature hot. It was just like, or no, it wasn't spicy.
Mm-hmm.
It was more temperature hot.
Bro, I swear to God,
Like it just made your mouth feel like.
yeah, like this. It just burned. It feels like it just burnt my mouth.
What is this voice I'm hearing?
I was like kind of gurgling the milk. It feels like it just burnt my mouth, bro.
Man's E40 just came in the building. Holy shit.
Bro, it feels
All
like.
Man said,
A whole different voice.
that's crazy, dude. All right, let me just reshuffle everything here. I had it
Oh,
all
bro,
fucked up.
it stings, bro.
Still hurting you, huh? Still
Ooh.
hurting.
I'm about to get like a cough, the numbing cough drop or something.
Ooh, oh, is it?
Oh,
That's why. Okay. All right, so we are now on King Kenny.
yeah, somewhere.
You said King Kenny is a solid fighter.
Yeah,
Now, you were stumbling and bumbling like Chris Berman through that statement, but I'm going to take over here so you can recover. I agree. I think Kenny is a solid fighter. I almost want to put him at prospect because
yeah.
the win versus you is one that's very controversial, and
Correct.
there's so much more that I want to see out of Kenny moving forward, but it's the strength of schedule that puts him at solid fighter for me because he is taking on a challenge against you who I would put, and we're going to talk about in a second, above a lot of people here as far as the skill level involved, as far as how dangerous you are to guys. And he took a big right hand from you
Yeah.
that probably would have put most guys down. I think Kenny is going to be competitive with a lot of guys moving forward and solid fighter. Again, you can say he didn't win the Sensei fight, and that's been debated, whatever. But the official record says he has a win over FaZe Sensei.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that more than makes up for the fact that he lost to FaZe Temperrr. Styles make fights, and he had more experience at this point. I think he's only going to get better. I see him as a solid fighter. How you doing over there,
Bro,
Sensei?
this is not what I expected, bro. I expected like, ooh, like spicy, like my eyes watering.
Yeah, no. It
Nose
just hurts.
My nose ain't really running that, but it's, bro. This is just painful, bro. Bro, how do people eat the
I
whole
did not
thing,
mean-
bro? How do they eat the
I
whole
know.
thing?
Oh, you want to eat it now?
No, I'm saying how.
Oh. Oh,
Bro,
yeah, I don't know how you would. No,
I think
that's fucking
It feels like the top of my mouth is burnt.
Okay, next up we have Michael Lee. Quite frankly, I know he wants to box again.
I need some ice, bro. Go ahead.
I think, quite frankly, we'll make this one short. I think Michael Lee is hanging up. I think there's no reason for Michael to be fighting
Hang it
anymore.
up. Hang it up. This is what you're
Hang
going to
it
get
up.
from me.
Moving on.
Yep.
And
Next.
moving on.
Next.
We have Kristen Hanby next, who is going to be fighting on X Series number 2. He's going to be taking on Swarms, the GOAT. He has, I don't even know if it was an official win or if it was ruled a DQ or a no contest with him and Vitaly, but there were some headbutts involved, things
Yep.
like that.
Journeyman. Yep.
Journeyman, all right. Why he's doing the ice thing. Journeyman, I can see a journeyman because I thought Kristen had some pretty, I wouldn't say decent. Are you okay?
Oh, bro. Amazing right now.
Wait, you're just gonna have to clip that part and just
I
watch
know.
his face.
That's on playback. That's 100% a new GIF. That's a new meme.
Definitely gonna be a meme. Especially-
Yes, that is our new meme for sure. I'm trying to do a tier list here, bro. If you could enjoy that a little less loud, that'd be great. Yeah, I think you're right, though. I think Kristen Hanby, a guy that showed decent technique, is going to be fighting again soon. Hasn't proved anything to be in that next level, and again, he's fighting Swarms. So I think a journeyman because I don't see him beating any of the guys at Prospect or above. Next, Adam Saleh, or a.k.a. Adam Saleh, as Rob Flores kept calling him every time they announced it. Listen, I don't know what you got going on over there, but if you could turn off the vacuum or the Guzzler 3000, that'd be great, bro. Next we have man got the ultrasonic going over there. Next we have Adam Saleh. And Adam's a tough one, man, because God, he's got so much experience. He's talented. He is a guy that honestly could be anywhere in that solid fighter to contender range, but his performances, man, his performances leave a lot to be desired. And I know he was fighting a guy 20 pounds bigger than him in Landon.
Yeah.
But that fight, a lot of people were saying should have went to Landon. Some people were saying should have went to Adam. It was a draw, fair play, whatever. But he loses to Walid Sharks.
That's right.
And he has the odd match with the guy that was never a boxer. I mean, he beats him, but it was a very underwhelming thing that he had on the last Social Gloves before this one. Listen, I think Adam has a lot of ability. He's just going to need to show me more. Right now, Adam's a prospect, in my opinion, still.
Part of me
I
wants
can't
to
put him at solid fighter.
Yeah. I think
Not after the loss to Walid. I can't put him there. And not that Walid's not a solid fighter or anything like that. It's just Adam has to show.
He's always had pretty solid competition, though.
I know, yeah. Strength of schedule's there.
He hasn't had, just somebody he can just roll over.
That's true. That's true.
Which is surprising because I figured that would something he would do, But
well, the one guy, the weird, I don't know what that guy was doing in there. The guy that was like I don't know. The second Social Gloves card he was on, that was a very odd one. But outside of that,
this is getting weird, bro, inside my body. Whoa.
You are struggling. This is why I said we should have done it after. All right. Do you want a Rochambeau over solid fighter and prospect for Adam?
Prospect. I'm good with me. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, prospect works. And this is where we'll do the 2 tiers of prospects, I think. And we'll start doing that in a second. But, okay, next up we have the man that it seems like a lot of people are getting the duck bill out for. The man that can't seem to get a fight. The man that probably should have been fighting you a couple of years ago. Really wish we would have seen that one. That was a fun fight. We never could make it happen. But he's apparently back. You don't want to fight the man they all duck, a.k.a. Josh Brueckner. Where do we put Josh, man?
A solid fighter, one a win away from contender.
Why do you say solid fighter over contender? Because he has wins as a pro boxer against another pro.
Oh, that's right. It was a pro, huh?
Yeah, and he has wins in the MMA scene by KO. I think him and JMX is a fun fight.
It's just been
him and Logan's a fun fight.
Yeah, it's been a while, but you're right. When you put...
This is why I say Josh is dangerous. Nobody wants to fight this guy because I think he's a contender.
The thing is now that we are adding in other people's resumes, outside the influencer space too.
Yeah.
And
I think he's a contender, man.
Yeah, that's a contender. Because if you're saying we're going to input his overall resume and not just
you have to, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, you have to.
Facts. Contender.
And he was on an influencer card, but he fought a pro in that card.
That is true.
Yeah,
that is true.
And I think, and we look at this, and I think he's competitive with guys like Logan and with Tommy Fury and with, honestly, Tommy should beat him because he's a pro and he's got 7 wins and the whole thing. But Tommy's performance has been so underwhelming, and Josh is such an athletic dude. I think he broke both his legs, though. Didn't he break both of his legs at the same time?
The way you said that, bro. Yes. His ankles.
I don't mean that disrespectfully, but the
ankles. His ankles.
He shattered both ankles at the same time, bro.
Crazy, dude.
But if everything's healed, fine. Then
I'd rather have both my ankles. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't rather that. But
are you feeling it right now? Yeah, you're going through it.
It feels gross, bro. Because the milk, I've had way too much of this milk. If I think about
you tried to prime with the milk. That didn't work. All right, speed run. KSI is next. The man they call the Nightmare. Coming off 2 main events. Coming off a 3-year layoff. Got a win versus Logan. Where do we put KSI?
Oh.
This is tough, man. This is tough.
You got to put him contender. Reason is we're talking about him against Gib. You're talking about him against Tommy, and
Yeah.
he admittedly said that he's not ready for Jake. So if he's saying
agree.
that, you can't put him in that category.
I agree.
Oh, what's going on
I
in my
agree.
chest, bro?
You getting some heartburn?
Something.
I agree. I think KSI is a contender. This is why I had a bit of an issue putting Logan there because I don't like putting him on the same level as KSI. But those fights were so close. And, you could talk about the 2 points, but you could also just talk about how close that fight could have gone the other way if Logan was a little more active. And these are all competitive fights for JJ. Tommy,
Yes,
competitive.
yes.
Tate, competitive. Logan, competitive. Brueckner, competitive. Like Gib, competitive. That's a perfect matchup for him. So I think contender easily makes sense. Next, we have Landon McBroom, the little brother of Austin. Just drew with Adam Saleh. I think that speaks very well for him. Has a win versus the Disney kid, Ben Azalart. What do we think about Landon?
Prospect.
Yeah, I agree.
Can't
I
put him
think Landon
above
is a
or
prospect.
below Adam.
Yeah.
That is
I think
true.
you put him
Yeah.
right in line with Adam, and we're going to put Adam on the upper side of this, but I think you put him right in there with Adam because he is a guy that I think, again, at 150 has some fun matchups and proved if he can go round for round with Adam, land some shots, Adam's an experienced guy, he deserves that spot. So prospect, need to see more from him against more competitive fights like Adam. Because Adam technically could be a solid fighter, but
Correct.
just his performances,
Bro, look
Next.
if this is a good idea before I do this.
What are you
He
doing?
got me a Sprite from McDonald's, bro.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not-
I would be careful with that carbonation. I don't know.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah, check
Nah,
that
bro,
out
dude,
before you
gotta
do
check
the
that
Sprite
out.
deal.
I'm about to barf.
Oh, snap. Yeah, we get the trash can. We're almost there. All right, next up, Le'Veon Bell. Former Steelers running back, now turned
Bro, I can't do it.
dropping Adrian Peterson into the shadow realm.
Solid
Did
fighter.
we jump the gun here and put him at solid fighter?
Yes. Bro, KO. Lights out. Starch.
He did lights out KO.
Timed it too. Wasn't just some running him over. Showed skill
True.
and destroyed
Now-
a freaking legend and a freaking 225-pound monster who also
True.
dropped someone in sparring. He didn't just knock out a guy who couldn't throw either.
True. Are we overestimating his athletic ability? Because we have Jarvis, who did have a knockout in prospect, and I know it was Michael Lee. We're not talking about the same
That's
level
why,
of
because
competition.
it's Adrian Peterson.
Right. Okay. That's fair. Le'Veon Bell.
But he's like right in between the
I know. He probably should be here in the top range, but I think that the points we've made are compelling. And, again, you stick him in this range,
That's what I'm saying.
I think he's competitive with Dr. Mike.
Yeah.
I think he's competitive with JMX.
Dr. Mike's only had one fight, right?
Right. I think those are competitive fights, although I think I would favor Dr. Mike in that fight. But I think they're competitive. That's the point.
Yeah.
Next up, we have none other than the man whose heart is on fire, strong desire, based off the one-chip challenge. The man that put the right hand on King Kenny and made him feel what it means to be in there with the sensei. It is the Big Oos. Hey, Sensei, where do you go?
A solid fighter.
On this list.
I think I'm right there.
Now, hold on a second.
You know?
We're not talking about contender here. Why are we not saying contender? What are we doing?
Well, because
Am I going to have to fight you for a contender? Because Kenny is a solid fighter. We can't put you above Kenny after a dub. Is that why?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm looking at it, like who, let's say
Yeah.
the ref doesn't jump in and I get the first round finish.
You're a contender.
No, yeah, but I didn't. So,
I understand. But, bro, it's got to be a contender here. Like, and this is not shade at King Kenny or anything like that, but I've watched that fight 3, 4, 5 times, and there's no
so you're saying
other
that
way.
If you score it correctly, I get the win. Bam.
Yes. Like, you can't tell me that 3 judges, and again, I'm not discrediting a win. A win is a win. He is the winner. On paper, he wins. Sure. But you can't tell me 3 judges saw that fight, and then now that I've seen everything that they saw 3 and 4 times over,
Yeah.
that it's not easily considered that you won that fight. From anybody that watches it with an eye of how is boxing scored, truly, and how are things weighed. I'll fight you for this one if you want.
No, also no. Also, I mean, the other part of it too is that we haven't done before is when you're including the rest of the resume.
in a tier list.
Exactly. Let's talk about your pros. Like, you have a kickboxing match. You fought in other boxing matches. You fought as an MMA fighter.
Yeah. So, like, if you're going to include that, you know, because when you're doing the tier list, sometimes you know what I mean? Like, do we? But if we're including it, because we're talking about Tate, we're talking about other people who have other experience, like JMX, we added his MMA fight.
I think that you've shown in your fight with Kenny more danger than he showed you.
Yeah,
You've shown you can put guys down.
Yeah.
Easily. And I think these fights, like, Kenny, is he competitive with KSI? Sure, maybe. Is he competitive with Logan? I don't know. Is he competitive with Gib? I don't know. So
of course,
it's tough to put him up there.
I'm much more competitive with those guys. Yeah, definitely.
I think you're more competitive with KSI, with Brueckner, with Logan. Like, 100%. So you're going to contender for me, man. Controversy be damned. Contender. Let's go. Not quite champ yet.
This thing
all right.
Nasty, bro. Whatever's
it's
going
getting
on
you.
right
We're
now.
almost there. I know I keep saying that, but we're literally almost there.
It doesn't taste good, bro. And the combination with the milk is disgusting.
Only you would do the one chip challenge and expect it to taste great.
Or something, bro. Come on, dude.
Bullshit. It doesn't even taste good.
At least the pain has gone away. That's the problem. The pain's gone away.
There you go.
Then it's just.
Now you just got a bad taste. Yeah, that chest, that heartburn getting you. Okay. Next up, we have the man they call Eminem, a.k.a. they don't call him that, but I do. Malcolm Minicon. Just had a brutal, absolute slugfest with Nick Young.
Oh, my God.
Where does Minicon go on this list, man? Because he's an interesting guy.
He was the one who fought Arms, right? I thought he won.
We thought he won against Arms. We thought he was maybe losing the fight to Swaggy P.
Yeah.
But was starting to come on pretty strong and maybe would have turned the tide of that
fight. You
fight.
got to put him prospect. You know, Arms is that hang him up. So, and Swaggy is a little weird going on there, you know.
I agree. I think prospect is the spot here. And I think there's a potential for him to move up. But I think that's going to take some time, and it's going to take the right opponent. Whoever he gets in there with next, he has to have a star-studded showing. But prospect, absolutely. Can't wait to see what he does next. And then we have Money Kicks, a.k.a. Part of the reason Social KO was even created, so that they could get him some wins. But you know what? I'll say this. He's gotten better. He looks... In his last fight, he lost, but he's looked a little better his technique-wise. I don't think he's a major player in this scene. I don't think he's someone that in the future is going to get much better than he is right now.
Journeyman.
I think he's a journeyman. I don't necessarily think he needs to hang him up yet, but I think he's a journeyman. Next, we have a man that is actually fighting again on the or no, he's not. I'm sorry.
I was like, wait.
I thought he was fighting on. Yeah, never mind. Next up, we have N&A Productions. What a name, by the way. No idea what it means. But the man that has Joker tattoos, that Slim beat in about 13 seconds. He has been angling for another fight. I think he might have had another one. I don't remember if he did or not. But Slim pieced him up pretty quickly. That was never going to be a competitive fight. Where do we put N&A Productions?
Well... Hang him up? I don't know. I haven't really seen him do anything, so you just said...
He seems like he wants another fight. I saw a couple of little footage. Like, he wants to fight Dean the Great, which I think is a bad idea.
You guys started from 13 seconds? It was quick.
It wasn't even... It might have been less than that, but it was... Slim did what Slim does to guys. Walked forward, put bangs on him, and he did like a back turn, and that was it. I think he probably should be in Hang 'em Up, to be honest. I don't think he's very competitive with anybody on this list.
Yeah.
I think he wants to keep fighting, but I think it's probably in his best interest, except unless they did Money Kicks. If they give him Money Kicks, fair play.
Yeah.
But I think he's in Hang 'em Up, man. I don't think N&A Productions should be fighting anymore.
Next to AP
but,
down there, man. Damn.
I know, AP, your boy. That's going to... If people cared more about AP in the boxing scene, that'd piss people off. But it's true, man. All right, next up, we have the man that is jumping bikes over the O2 Arena. The man that is... getting in fights in hotel lobbies. The man that is Dubai's own at this point, but formerly from the UK. He's fighting Slim, the Hitman, to get this beef settled on X Series 2. It's Ryan Taylor. Where do we put RT?
I don't know. I feel like...
Had a draw with AT.
That's
Anthony Taylor.
the draw with Anthony Taylor, because you look at Anthony Taylor and Tommy Fury, and then you see Ryan Taylor to be able to pull out.
I don't know how much of
draw.
we haven't watched that fight closely. I don't know how much
Yeah.
of a legitimate draw it actually was for one guy or the other. I just don't know who looked better. I haven't
Yeah.
watched it. But the draw does speak volumes if it was a competitive fight.
Yeah, that
I-
that to me, I was like, well, I didn't expect that.
No,
'Cause-
I thought
Because Ryan
Anthony
is
Taylor
he's so new. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. If Anthony Taylor went in there and was trying to get him out of there and was really giving it that serious go, then that's impressive. I just don't know. I haven't seen it. I think we can't put him anywhere other than. It's tough, man.
Because like,
He's
I-
drawn. That's all we know. But he did the headbutt, and that was like he probably was going to lose that fight, which is why the headbutt came out
yeah, I was against DK, right?
against DK. So I don't know if we can put him in journeyman, but I don't know if we can put him at prospect.
I know. I feel like he's right in between, because that draw was very interesting to me. I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh, Ryan has like potential. Like,
But
he's
he
here.
drew with a guy that we already have at journeyman. I think we have to put him at journeyman because if you draw with a guy we already have at journeyman, and I know that AT really shouldn't be a journeyman, but it's how he performs.
That's what I'm saying. Like, AT just kind of approaches the game as a journeyman, where
I know.
more so.
But-
I don't know. Yeah.
He's going to walk into this fight with Slim, and if he pulls off a win versus Slim, holy shit. But I think everybody is thinking this is going to be one-way traffic here. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm good.
I think, and this is not a disrespectful thing to RT, I just think he's a journeyman because we haven't seen enough quality out of him.
Yeah, I think because it's Anthony Taylor, we don't know. It's like kind of a unfortunate knock on Ryan because we don't know
Yeah.
how it was. But like, if
I'll
that
have
was a
to go
legit,
back and watch
if
it.
it was legit and like Ryan pulled out,
I'd
a
put him
draw,
up here.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I just don't know. I don't know what the circumstances was. I don't know if it was a draw that AT got screwed in. I don't know if it was a draw that Ryan got screwed in. I don't know. But I think putting him on the level of the guy he drew with is pretty fair.
yeah, makes sense.
Next, we have the man with salt in his hands. He's ready to season up the beef with whoever he's fighting. It's the one man that people are the most excited about in this scene. It is Salt Papi.
You go first in this one.
I think Salt Papi is going to have to stay at... I think he has to stay a solid fighter.
Yeah,
I
agree.
can't put him at contender.
I agree.
I almost want to put him at prospect, but the fact that we have Halal Ham there makes me think I can't do it.
Correct.
But it's not because of his talent. And I've always we continue to say this about Salt Papi. It's not because he's not talented. If we were like based off potential alone here, I'd put him at Let's Go Champ.
Yeah.
But it's because of the strength of schedule, right? Halal Ham did have a win, but against a guy that really probably shouldn't have been boxing. And Andy Worski should not have been boxing.
Right.
But he did what he was supposed to do with Andy Worski.
Correct. He did.
Tuned him up in about 22 seconds. Just zipped him up, body bagged him. Literally. Left him laying like a dead body, Sensei.
That was
On the way
insane.
down, said, have another one. And call me in the morning.
Doubled
I think
it
he's
up,
a
too.
solid fighter because,
I think he's solid.
again, you
yeah.
look at everybody on the solid fighter list here. It's tough because I think he's a tough fight for Alex. I think he's a tough fight for Kenny. I think he's going to be a tough fight for even some of the guys at Contender, like Gib, like KSI.
Yeah.
These are tough fights,
Yeah.
you know? So this is a provisionary solid fighter. Like, his next fight will really be the determinant if he goes here, if he goes, or
He's
just
got to
stays
fight.
here.
He's got to fight another solid.
Got to fight a real
fighter.
guy. Got to fight a real guy.
He fought a
And I think that's-
prospect. He fought a journeyman.
Yeah.
He's got to fight
And I think-
a solid fighter.
And I think the next guy on this list may be a potential fight for him coming up in January and would be an absolutely a guy that we could say, okay, you beat him, now we're off to the races. It's the Hitman, Slimmy. Where are we putting Slim here? I'll go first and tell you I have no problems putting him at contender. None.
Yeah.
No problems because,
He's 4-0, 4 finishes, right?
yeah, 4-0, 4 finishes. And the fight that he just took with Tommy was so impressive to me. The way he was able to do what he did in the fashion he did it on 2 weeks' notice.
On 2 weeks' notice, yeah.
Coming off an eye injury that we thought might completely stop him from fighting ever again.
That's a huge performance. We're talking
massive.
Yeah, like if we're gonna give Gib contender.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah,
we have to. And that's another one. That's a competitive fight. You want to talk about the winner of that one being in possibly Let's Go champ or close to maybe we make another one above contender, like number 1 contender.
Yeah.
You know, they would move up because, of course, that's the winner of that one's going to be in that next level. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 left. That's it.
Let's do it.
Here we go. Last home stretch of the longest tier list in YouTube boxing history. Next up, we have Stromady. And if you don't remember, Stromady did get a win on Showstar. He did have he was one of the first guys on the card in Showstar. Got a win.
Oh, yeah.
Over the, what's the guy's name? I don't remember his name. The TikToker. But he got a win. He says he wants to continue doing this. He did have a somewhat successful spar with Bryce Hall, even though it wasn't a great spar for either of them, but he did land the biggest shot of the spar and put Bryce Hall on blast there. But
was that his first fight, or did he already have another fight before that?
Stromady, I think that was his first fight.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I think that was his
had
first
the beef with Bryce. Yeah.
Stromady's not a high-level athlete.
No.
Stromady's not a guy that's going to shock the world or, in my opinion, really elevate himself in this scene. But he is a guy that can be around for other guys to make a name off of. And that sounds really bad, but he can be just a guy that we put in there and say, hey, this is where your skill level, like this is where we evaluate your first fight, your first skill level, you know?
Yeah,
I think he's a journeyman.
Journeyman.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He's easily a journeyman. I'm over here making like, this is what I think, and you're like, yeah, journeyman. Let's get out of here. Next, we have Swaggy P, a.k.a. Nick Young, the man that got hit with a forearm shiver and thought he was Randy Savage selling in the WWE.
Hang him up.
What do we think?
Put him next to Pineda, even though he was winning the fight.
Yeah, I think Nick should not be fighting anymore. Either, I don't think he should have been fighting in the first place, but he had trained for a long time. It's just when guys react to getting hit like that,
yeah,
and that was really the only time he got hit, that's when you know it's time to hang him up.
Yep.
You have to be able to take shots in boxing, even when you don't want to. Next, we have the GOAT, Swarms. Punch you up, then I punch up Deji. Ready, steady. Where do we put Swarms here, man?
Journeyman.
Yeah, I think so.
He's on 30 days notice. Can't, you know.
Yeah, no, he lost the weight. He did what he was supposed to do. I don't know how much actual talent is there, but the fact that he was game enough to come fight, and he's going to be fighting again. He's fighting Kristen Hanby.
Yes.
I don't know why I put him at prospect. But that is a competitive fight, in my opinion.
He went
and the winner of
30 days notice fought a contender. Yeah,
30 days notice fought KSI, which is nuts. And listen, if we were again including promotion in this thing, Swarms did a great job, and he put his name out there, and he's probably the one guy outside of Slim, and well, I shouldn't say the one guy, but Slim, Salt, Papi, and Swarms came out of that, and Deji came out of that event amazing. But the other three guys won. He lost and came out looking like a thing of roses. Like
that's true.
The promotion, the whole thing, like people love him now. And now look at it. He's gotten booked because of it on a second event when no one thought he should have been on the first one. And he turned that around. So fair play to him.
That's crazy.
Now next we have Taylor Holder, and he's interesting to me because Gib is at contender.
Yeah, Taylor's a prospect.
Here's what honestly, yes, Taylor should be a prospect, but man, I got an itch to put him higher.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. He is in camp, by the way. He's coming back. He's going to be fighting soon, apparently.
I think with the performance, you can put him a solid fighter. But
I know he's got to get a win. I know. But then we have fucking Logan at contender with 0. But strength of schedule, I get it.
Yeah. It's not.
But Gib, man, Gib is a contender, and yeah, you know he got dog walked by Gib. Gib kind of did what he wanted with him. So you can't put him a solid fighter, I don't guess. Even though, like, let's be honest, I think he is probably beating or is at least competitive with Austin.
Yeah.
Probably with Alex as well.
But you look at the
rest of the guys there are tough, man. Those are killers there. Yeah.
You
All right.
got Mike,
prospect.
you got Jarvis, you got Swingler, you got Deji.
Well, I just look at Kenny, really. Kenny and Salt Papi as being tough fights for him at a similar weight, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Fun fights, though. But, yeah, Taylor, I would say, is the one guy that we can look at and say he probably is a top-level prospect where one win, he's bumped up.
Yeah.
All right, next we have, this one's tough for you. This is the homie. This is the brother right here, man. What are we doing about FaZe Temperrr, a.k.a. Big Tommy?
Mm-hmm. You know,
Lost to Slim in devastating fashion, but does hold a win over Kenny.
Yeah, without the loss, he was already at solid. Did you have him at solid?
He was already
before?
at solid, so he would have been a contender had he beaten Slim.
Yeah, does he get bumped down because of the devastating?
Does he get bumped down to prospect after losing like he did, or do we keep him at solid fighter because of the win over Kenny? Because I would love to see that rematch.
Yeah. And
I
Slim,
think it would
and
be,
Slim is that freaking contender now, so.
I'm saying Slim proved himself, so it's not a bad loss at all. It's just the way he lost that was bad. I like him at solid fighter.
I do.
I do.
Yeah, I do. I know. I can understand people argue it the other way because it's just a devastating loss.
It was a bad loss for sure.
You know.
But again, it was a 2-week notice for Slim. It's also a 2-week notice for Tommy. Right.
Yeah.
And there's differences there, but Slim also is a completely different fighter than Blueface.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And Blueface could have made that fight competitive too, but Slim's not a southpaw. Tommy was getting ready for his no excuses. He lost the fight, which is why we're not putting him on the same level as Slim, but he did have a pretty dominating fight with Kenny. Right? Like he won a lot of rounds versus Kenny. And again, that's a different Kenny too, and I understand that. That's why we need to see the rematch.
When they rescored it, it was 4-1, right?
Yeah, so it's not like he didn't just do his thing versus Kenny a couple months before that. It wasn't a year. It was just a couple months. Or I shouldn't say a couple months, but it wasn't a full year. So, yeah, I like him at solid fighter, and let me see the rematch, you know?
Yeah, I agree, because if you look at Tommy with any of those people there.
Tommy has a competitive fight with a lot of these guys, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He gives problems to Austin. He gives problems to Alex. Gives problems to Kenny. Salt Papi's a fucking monster. That'd be an interesting one.
Salt Papi's a monster for anybody.
I know. And then JMX says he wants a piece of Tommy. So
yep, JMX. Yep.
You know. All right, last three. We have the Frozen One, the man that was a former 5-time UFC champion, now turned into the dude wipe sponsor that gets put on his face, ass up. Jake knocks him out, but he's still number one in our hearts. Where are we putting Tyron Woodley?
Damn.
This is going to be a tough one because if I'm honest, I don't know how I put him lower than contender.
I know. I was just like, I don't think I can't put him solid fighter.
And people are going to be like, how would you say that? He's the Frozen One. He lost to Jake twice. I know, but look at everyone in that solid fighter range.
But also in that first fight, like it looked like Woodley didn't know what was didn't understand.
He had never boxed. He thought he was winning the fight. He legitimately thought he was winning.
That's what I'm saying. He didn't understand the scoring. It's like almost like in my situation where he didn't understand the scoring.
That's the thing. Even with you not understanding scoring, you were.
No, yeah, mine was. You know what I mean? Like I was winning. It wasn't like I was being.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting cracked or hurt. You know.
But no, it's like it's for Woodley. It was an adjustment in the second fight, but then again, he comes in on 2 weeks' notice, like 11 days.
Yeah,
filming Cobra Kai.
Yeah, he does come in 11 days, and and he made it a dogfight. It was just they were clinching. It was a dogfight the whole time. It wasn't like he got. You look at the knockout, but it wasn't like it was It was not a dominant fight.
Right. The domination came from that moment. Before that, both guys had moments.
It was just back and forth.
It's going to be controversial, but I think we put him at contender, man, because there's a lot of guys here that he would still be competitive with, and it's still a question, you know?
Bro, I just burped. It was the most disgusting thing ever, bro.
The worst idea to do. While we did the tier list, the worst idea we did. All right, last two. We have Walid Sharks, a man that holds a victory over Adam Saleh, who has been calling for fights like Dean the Great, been calling for fights like Jarvis, saying he's going to knock all these dudes out, wipe the floor with them. I like his confidence. And again, that win over Adam.
Yeah, solid. He's got to go solid. He beat Adam.
Got to be a solid fighter, I think.
Adam's one of the
Because-
more skilled guys in the scene, and he beat him. So
Yeah, and he beat him, some would say convincingly. I know it was, a little bit, Adam could have won here. I thought he beat him going away, and I think he's got a lot of opportunities should he get over here in the U.S. and fight. I think he's another guy that needs to get out of Dubai. If look what happened when Slim got out of Dubai. Look what happened when Adam is now taking fights in the U.S. The respect level goes up when you fight some of these guys. And not that Walid doesn't have it, and I know he has an amateur background too, so that even puts him higher.
right.
But I think one more solid fight where he beats a guy like Wasabi or Dean or somebody like that, and then we can bump him to maybe the level he needs. Last but not least, I saved Yusuf for last for a reason here. He's obviously in the hang him up,
Yeah.
but I wanted to give him his flowers because I think he knows now he's not going to be fighting anymore. I think everyone knows it. But I wanted to say, if it's Yusuf's last time, thank him for taking and making Deji, quite frankly, turn the scene around. Because
Literally.
without Fousey, Deji is not fighting Mayweather. Without Fousey, Deji is not that comeback kid that he is now.
Facts.
And the motivation Deji got from it, you could say Yusuf just changed YouTube boxing by putting on two of the bigger stars that we have now. He put on Slim when no one wanted to fight Slim,
Yeah, that's true.
and he put on Deji when everyone thought Deji was done for. Fousey's kind of the reason YouTube boxing still is where it is. So,
bro. Yeah, he
while it is a hang 'em up for Yusuf,
big part of
it's
the
a
scene.
respectful hang 'em up because you did your job, kid.
Yep.
You did your job. There it is, folks. Yeah, listen, I think this is a pretty comprehensive. Okay, what we need to do is put our prospects on. We have to put our high and low end prospects. DK Money is a
Yes.
low end prospect. Evil low end prospect. Halal low end prospect. Go back down here. I think that's better, right? These are our high end prospects. DDG, Blueface, and if we were ranking them, they would be like Taylor first, Blueface second. Actually, Taylor, Deji, Blueface, probably 1A, 1B, 1C.
Yeah.
Jarvis, Idubbbz. Oh, shit, I forgot Adam. Adam here.
Yeah.
And Landon there. Jarvis, Dad, Hundar. Yeah, that works. That's, I think, the way we're going to leave it. What do you think? I think that's
Minicon,
probably...
I think you can put Minicon up.
You think Minicon up?
and
Then we'd have to move who?
Hundar
Dad?
or Dad.
Hundar
yeah.
down?
Yeah.
Hundar down, Minicon up. Okay, boom, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, there it is, man. I think that is probably the best list you were ever going to see.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the breakdown crossover boxing tier list. Jake is the only Let's Go champ because obvious reasons. Jake is the head of this scene. But everyone in Contender, everyone in Solid Fighter has a chance to move up. Prospect does as well. Journeyman, you're going to have to get it together. I'm still salty about the Austin pick, but we'll leave it where it is. And the Dillon Danis pick. But outside of that, our hang-it-ups, I feel are nice.
Dillon just got to fight, dude.
I know. But there it is. You guys let us know in the comments down below. This is probably the longest single video we'll have on this channel, but we're going to clip it up, make it look nice for you guys. Sensei, before we get out of here, tell the people you're okay so they don't worry themselves about
No, I am not okay.
Okay.
Not okay. I am not.
He's going to be fine.
I'm going to be fine. I'm definitely going to be fine. I'm not concerned at all. Dude,
It sounds
but
very concerned, I ain't gonna lie.
this thing was not spicy, bro. There was no spice.
None. It was
It's
not
like
the spice you were
someone
looking
just
for.
Took hot rocks.
It's like dating a girl that you see on the, this is not for you, Sensei, it's for my fellow single people. It's like dating a girl you see on the gram and god dang, she got the and she got the so you're like, and she, you know what I'm saying, the melanin is nice, the sun has kissed her very well, so you're like, god, she's spicy. But then you meet her in person and the personality is
Yeah, bro.
so she's hot, but there's no spice there. You feel me?
You want to know what this is like? As if somebody took hot sand and chucked it and put it on a
Okay.
potato chip. And then
Probably
just-
better.
It burnt your mouth.
Yeah.
And it also tasted like crap.
Okay, yeah.
And then that was
Double
it.
whammy.
It just burned. And now
Just
my stomach.
sand to the face.
And then I drank way too much milk, which I don't really drink a lot.
Yeah, no.
And it has,
was
a
combination
nasty
of,
flavor, so I have this nasty taste right now. Like, I'm actually, like, the burn is gone.
yeah, just nasty now. Yeah, that's gonna fuck you up.
It tastes like I drank sour milk, bro.
There it is. Sour milk shoddy. That is FaZe Sensei. That is our tier list. You guys let us know down below what you think, and we will leave the link for this tier list if you want to make your own and send it to us on Twitter at @TheBreakdownSW. We will obviously take a look, and I will be going back and forth because I can't help myself. I'm Wade. That's Sensei. You guys let us know. How'd we do?
Yes, let us know.
I will not sit up in the nosebleeds. I will not stop until they know me.